I meant to have that one on.
I like it.
Welcome to Dipito. How are you,
The
Simon?
dipping toe. Well, you know how I am. I'm doing okay. For I'm me and the viruses, man. We are bonding right now.
Mm,
I mean, we're having like an arm wrestling match inside my body. This one's, you know what? Actually, why? Speaking of that, I have watched 6 8J. By the way, love you, brother, and I know you're going through it. Like he
yeah,
got
poor
sick,
guy.
right? And then he got
I
something
was
else, and
sick.
something else, right? Right. Okay. So like that's what's happened. I mean, I've gotten one thing, and then I moved to another thing, and now I moved to another thing, and so I'm in this weird. I feel okay right now. I'm like, am I really around the corner this time? Is this really the last lap? Like, but other than that, I'm doing good, man. Life's great. The world's changing. We all see it. We all know it. Um, man, I'm wore out. Literally,
Yeah.
my bandwidth is like, so you're out of data.
Reset. We need the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
well,
If
they do
you'd like
say
to
this is
upgrade,
the great reset, right?
well, yeah, reset me, please.
2025. Holy
Reset me,
smoke.
please. I
I
need
need a
full
reset.
on indoor, out, interior, exterior workout. Yeah.
Wow, we've got 21 people in here already, Simon. I want to give a
Oh,
shout
I love
out
it.
to
Give them the
our
shout out.
our lovely listeners that come every week. Matt Riley, thank you for coming. Becky Forbes. We got a new one, Neuroboner is in here in the house. Mr. Rob Nichols from IMU TV. Welcome, Rob. Thank you for coming. Trissa's Have a Go's here. Tiara, Sing for Jesus. Crypto professors in the house.
Whoa, get your number two pencil now. Get your number
Uh,
two pencil. Wait,
we got
hey,
our
Professor, did you
good
have a snow
friend.
day?
Yeah, we got our good friend New Mindset is in here. Susan Roblin is in here. You guys, thank you so much. If you are watching on the YouTubes, if you guys would please hit that like button and share this out, we'd appreciate it. We have a treat for everyone this evening, and I tried to communicate it in the announcement for the show, but we had Dr. Artur Kirjakulov on Sunday. We did a interview with him. He is the creator and co-founder of XPMarket. Those of you that frequent the XRP ledger, or you hold XRP and you're dipping your toe into some of these spaces, might have heard of Dr. Artur. But we had a fantastic conversation. It's 2 hours long, guys. We squeezed a lot of information out of him. And so while we couldn't have him live, we did get a good amount of his time and some great information from it. Oh, Rosemary's here too. Hello, lovely Rosemary. So what we thought we would do is we're going to play this interview, and we'll throw your comments up. We'll still be chatting with you in the live stream. And there might be some points where we're going to pause and we'll chat. Neither one of us has listened back to the interview, so it's going to be kind of cool to listen back in on the show tonight. We'll see how things go. But I want to welcome everybody to 2025 and the new president, and see, you know, there's pot has been stirred already. So I think there could possibly be some light at the end of the tunnel this year for the crypto space. What do you think, Lisa A? What's up?
I think hey, a fellow PNW are in the house. Lisa, what's good, girlfriend? I watched the whole bloody thing, the inauguration day, because I was sick. But I watched it and dang. Honestly, to my surprise, and y'all can be like, Simon, dude, that's how it's been going for years. That's a busy day. They do all the parades, show up to this thing, show up to that thing, 3 balls.
I can't imagine.
I mean, gentlemen all across the world got a problem with 2. You throw a third one in there, holy buckets. Man, you just juggling all night. All right, no pun intended. I was just like, I was ready to go to bed. I'm like, man, I'm done. Y'all gonna go dancing now?
How's this dude
No,
doing?
no, 2 bumps to the chest. I'm gone. But
How's
to
it
answer your
happening?
question, in regards to the crypto, I think like most of us was really looking for just a little EO publicly, right? Just a little. Can we get some love? But there were some other things that we got some love on. He made an announcement in a speech about the ERS. That was actually really cool. I was looking forward to that one. But I did hear a lot of focus on the other big issues: security, safety of the country, etc. Right? As soon as I kept kind of hearing that repeated, I was like, "Oh, nope. This is a hey, we're taking action. Don't worry, we'll work out the financials in a little bit. But we got to go clean up the backyard, so to speak. But I think all good things are really coming. There's been some great social media posts about the Securities Exchange Commission, and you know what? And I totally forgot about that on Inauguration Day. That Trump and the administration, they already got people in place to take care of that, right?
Yep.
It's like no, they got to go to work. They got to do their job. They're going to do their things. So the EO, I mean, that's just icing on the cake. They're already in play working that out. So I think that's really.
If you think about it too, like he's never stopped working this whole time, even while Biden was in office. I firmly believe that Trump never stopped working, and all of the players in the different industries, the companies, people moving around that were in government positions, then went to companies, and there's been a lot of groundwork that's been laid over these past 4 years. And then, of course, there's the transition from the time that that you're the candidate, you get voted in, they get brought up to speed. And I believe he still had security clearance even after, because a lot of people, even when they leave jobs, not just the president, they still retain their security clearance. So I'm willing to bet that they knew very well what the heck was going on. And so it's very easy to implement these things. And probably from when he was in office prior, just like when he first came in, and remember the big stacks of regulations that he cut. He did the whole big thing where they wheeled them in, and it was just stacks and stacks of outdated old regulations. So I'm kind of in the belief that he already had these things on the table, knew which ones that were going to be taken out. And this is the other thing I want to say, and I know this is kind of off topic because we are going to play the interview here in a second, but I just want to say this is, it takes a long time to get things built. You can't just knock it all down at the same time, right? Presidents maintain the clearance for life. Thank you, Rob. That's what I thought. And so, when you talk about, and I noticed states were doing this too, when you talk about outdated regulations, things or precedents were set in different times than we live in today, and they don't necessarily fit the current atmosphere that we're living in, or the current makeup of society. And so this means that we need to take this opportunity to revisit these issues as they come up, and get them implemented, get policies and procedures in place the proper way. Some kind of precedents shouldn't just be set by a judge in one case, right? This needs to be legislated properly, or executive orders, for example. I've always had a pet peeve with the whole executive order process. Let's legislate these things properly and get them where more folks have the opportunity to have a say in how these things should be done. And especially now that we're entering into the digital asset world, where our financial system is, transforming into something that we've never seen before. We can't have all those outdated rules on the books governing where we go in the future. We really need to be, it kind of needs to be a living type of thing as we work out the stuff that happens. So that's just kind of my opinion.
Yeah,
I have great hope for things.
I'm with you on there. I'd like to say a few things just on that of the kind of making it up as we go along. I mean, those are my words, but that's kind of what we're doing. And really, I think let the market decide, kind of go that way, because when the rules come in, it's on our past, it's been because somebody else is motivating that. Hey, I need you to vote this way so my agenda can stay in play. And it's like, we're not really, we're not with that. I like the whole, America thing. I like that. I really, really do. I watched the infrastructure announcement yesterday, and it was really cool to see those three individuals that were up there. Can't remember the names off the top of my head, but they were actually like they really seemed excited, like really excited, like genuinely excited. And I'm so great it's here. I'm so happy it's here. Even the gentleman from, I think it's not SoftBank. Where's he from? Come on. Man, I can't remember his name. He's throwing $100 billion into the mix right out the gate. But anyways, he was so, you get to see, he's like, this is a good thing. Yeah. This is a good deal. He's so excited. And for me, I got to experience the proud to be an American right there. I was, you know what I mean? Like something that I felt like my grandparents had at one point, right? Then my parents kind of, whatever. I'm not, and that's not it. There's just a little different pride. Like you always hear about the World War IIs and beyond, right? The veterans from World War II, or the people that went through World War II, because everybody's, whether you served or not, you went through that stuff. You still get some stripes, in my opinion, right? You went through that stuff. Amen. So there's just a different sense of belonging, pride, etc. And I feel like that we here now in this time, we're that, right? We get to see, there you go. That's a leader. Love you a lot for what you're doing right here, right now, and for the bigger picture. So I with the legislation, absolutely. The EOs are kind of it's like a hard stop. It's like dad coming in, cut it out. Yeah. Go back to the table. Kind of thing.
We got the protectors of the frequencies in the house. Whoa, let's go. Looking forward to this.
Happy B-Day. Happy B-Day. Happy B-Day.
Happy birthday, Niall. We have 50 folks in here. Please share this out. Like, share, and subscribe at Dipito on YouTube and at Dipito on Rumble, at Dipito Show on X. And we're streaming on all 3 platforms now. So Mrs. and 8888, let's go. Without further ado, let's get our interview up and going. And as I said, we're going to play this and we'll pause for a little conversation. So keep those comments flowing. If you have any comments or questions, we'll try to keep up with it and we'll do a pause so that we can kind of chat about it. But Dr. Artur is fantastic, CEO and co-founder of XPMarket. And without further ado, we'll put this on for you. And hopefully, if you guys could give us a thumbs up once I start playing it to let me know that you can hear it. Here we go. Enjoy. Today, we have a very special guest with us. I've been listening to different spaces on X. And of course, I listen to the YouTubes and read a lot of different articles. And the other day I came across a man on Crypto Stone, Coffee and Crypto. If you guys aren't familiar, he has a morning show every day, 9 a.m. Eastern time, where he brings on different projects and folks that are in the XRP Ledger ecosystem. And Dr. Artur Kirjakulov was on there, and I want you on the show. So I'm going to give a little brief introduction for him, and we're going to bring him in.
Sweet.
So, for those of you that don't know, Dr. Artur Kirjakulov is a visionary leader at the intersection of blockchain technology and finance. He is the CEO and co-founder of XPMarket. With a diverse background that spans both the scientific and entrepreneurial realm, Dr. Kirjakulov brings a unique fusion of academic rigor and strategic foresight to his role. Originally, he trained as a life scientist with a PhD in nanotoxicology. His journey into the digital world has been marked by a dedication to innovation and an understanding for complex systems, whether they be biological or digital. Before steering XPMarket towards becoming a leading platform in the XRP ledger ecosystem, Dr. Kirjakulov held a significant position as development manager at British American Tobacco, where he managed critical projects and developed insights into market dynamics and competitive intelligence. His transition to blockchain and cryptocurrency markets was catalyzed by his early engagement with these sectors in 2017, which has since seen him emerge as an authority in the Web3 technologies. Under his leadership, XPMarket has not only kept pace with the rapidly evolving demands of digital finance, but also has set trends through its integration of DeFi, GameFi, and NFT functionalities. Dr. Kirjakulov's commitment to staying at the forefront of innovation ensures that the XP market continues to be a pivotal player in shaping the future of blockchain technology and decentralized finance. His vision transcends traditional project management, aiming to cultivate an ecosystem where technology and user empowerment, that's key for me, intersect. This approach makes complex blockchain interactions both accessible and advantageous for a wider audience. So, without further ado, please welcome Dr. Artur Kirjakulov to the Dip a Toe Show.
Hello, everyone. That was
Hello,
very beautiful
hello.
introduction. I have been blushing all this time. I guess it's been a long time since someone actually introduced me in a such nice manner.
Oh, well, I have to
Right
say, we always do.
She loves doing that. She loves doing that. She does. She brings people out when she does an if she's gonna do an introduction for you. Man, you really have the bell of the ball. You really do. She's
Yeah,
top
it did
notch
sound
when she
like
brings
I'm
people
like super professional. Years.
Yeah,
and
you're
years
like,
of-
wow,
Something I already forgot long time ago. Yeah.
wow. This
You
is not
know,
a normal
Is
crypto
it
show.
me?
Dr. Artur, I've always, and if you don't mind, I'll call you Dr. Artur because
Yeah, that's fine.
I hope that I pronounced your name correctly. I've been
That's fine.
practicing for days, trying to make sure that I didn't mess your name up. So if I did, I apologize. But I always told my kids when they were younger, write down your achievements, even if they seem very small, and as you do that and you put them all together, you read it back and you're like, holy smokes, I've done quite a lot, haven't I? So and I mean, you're a perfect example of that. As I was doing the research on your background, I was like, well, this guy's even more special than I knew when I heard you on Stone Space. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize, So yeah, very excited to have you here, and we're happy to allow you to shine and talk about XP Market. The first question before we get into all the rest of these, I'm always big on names. Why XP Market? What's behind that name?
So this is a funny, interesting story, I would say, because obviously when you create a company, you have to come up with a name, and the name has to be both simple but catchy at the same time. And it requires either a lot of imagination or a simple chance or situation when a name comes up. And what you remember, we wanted to reflect that it is a market for XRP ledger. So basically a place where you come and you can see everything that's happening and you are empowered to do multiple things. But just market doesn't really make sense. XRP not also, because we are for all XRP ledger. And we decided to go short, XP, from the shortening of experience. So it would be experience market where you come to our webpage and you experience all of the blockchain. One of our co-founders was very resistant of it because he was referring to Windows XP, like something
Oh,
very old.
yep.
But we actually explained that it comes from experience and it is experiencing the market. And I guess this is exactly what we're doing right now with our product. Since it has grown so much, we allow users to experience the full scale of XRP Ledger.
Ah, that is awesome. And you know what? You can tell your co-founder that Windows XP did not enter my mind one time when I heard of XPMarket. Not even a little. What about you, Simon?
No, I was definitely not thinking old technology.
Nah, not at all. Now, you know what I find really interesting is your background in nanotoxicology. How did that influence you in your approach to blockchain and finance? I mean, that I realize that you're recognizing and detailing, like looking at the fine details. How did you bridge over into digital assets and blockchain?
So those kind of diverted from a single point because when I was studying and doing my PhD, it was also early stage for me understanding the crypto, and I was doing crypto as my hobby or something that I was interested about. And I started my crypto journey with 20 pounds investment into Bitcoin. And
Mhm.
I was trying to understand, first of all, how do I take my fiat currency and send it somewhere where I have no idea how it works and who should I trust or not trust? And then I get this digital asset and where do I store it? My first question was, there's like not so many wallets, but also quite enough which one I choose.
Mhm.
And this is where it all started because I had to figure out what do I do with my Bitcoin right now. Yes, 20 pounds, but it's the start, and every journey starts with the first step. And since then, I was looking deeper into both the Bitcoin, and then it was quite a popular time of Ethereum and Ethereum
Mhm.
ICOs. And
Yep.
then it was the next step, like how I take my Bitcoin now and convert to Ethereum, and then Ethereum into those all now, when you look in backwards, shady projects on ICOs.
Yep.
So how do I invest? So that was all the progress, and I guess this is where a little bit of academic mind does actually help because while ICOs were quite a good opportunity to earn because it was bull market and bull market lets a lot of mistakes go unnoticed, you still have to find and cherry pick those potential winners and leaders.
Mhm.
And the best way back then was analyzing white papers, checking the team, seeing whether they have an actual product or just promises. And it all went just in parallel with my scientific experience, my scientific job. But at some point, when I have accumulated enough experience, both as a private investor, someone who invests his own capital, I
Mhm.
realized that I do see certain inefficiencies, but I also see trends which can be capitalized. And if no one utilizes this, then that person can be myself. So I could do that. But of course, I don't have all the skills. I don't know everything. So I also had a group of friends and colleagues. We came up together, started discussing what we could do. And essentially, this is how XPMarket emerged. But XPMarket didn't come as you see it right now. Essentially, we started first of all as an NFTs project, and this something we were looking in the past. So NFTs were really hot topic, and people were doing all crazy stuff, digital images, digital JPEGs, which you can, well, as people used to joke, you can simply download to your computer, and now you have an NFT. So we
Mhm.
wanted to do something different. We went a different path. We wanted to tokenize something. So it was digital NFTs or digital twins, where you have a physical asset, but it is backed by a digital one. So if you
Right.
have a NFT in your wallet on the ledger, you could, for example, exchange it for a real asset. But by the time we developed the idea, the interest for NFTs has dropped significantly. And to date, we still see that the interest for NFTs did not recover even close to the past highs. And we had to take a decision whether we pivot or completely drop the project. And since we're already looking into which blockchain we should launch our NFTs project on, we were looking at a lot of interesting solutions, starting from Ethereum to more underground, let's say, like Cardano. It's kind of not very popular right now and back then as well. So we were also trying to bet on a future development. And when we tried to bet on a future development, XRP Ledger was one of the options because back then, XRP Ledger ecosystem was still extremely young. So while XRP as an asset is more than a decade old, so it's very well established, and the blockchain also is established, but the ecosystem was not there, and we saw the potential. We thought that there is no service like ours who analyzes the blockchain, provides the insights, tells you what's happening, or even provides you a simple UI to do what you want to do on your daily basis. And so this is how it all started. And once we realized that XPMarket, it has market potential, there is a demand for it. So it quickly started to take most of my time, and I simply had to drop my career and go to the blockchain career.
I mean, that had to be I mean, that's a big jump, right?
It's a big jump, yes.
It's taking all of your time, but obviously you saw a big promise in that to take you away from your initial direction that you were going in. So you mentioned you have several co-founders of XPMarket, yes?
Yes, that's correct. So I am the CEO. I manage day-to-day operations, kind of a bigger picture, and I'm the one who does all the talking. Then we have Audrus. So Audrus is responsible for the product development. So whenever you see beautiful features released on XPMarket and the idea behind them, so he's probably the one who put the most effort into the development. And then we have Armenas, our CTO, who does all the backend, all the coding, and all the ideas we come up with are working because of him, because he manages to tie them up together and make sure that users can use them.
So is it just the three of you then?
We started as a team of 3, but we also have 2 more team members. So we have a front-end developer and we have a designer who helps us beautify all those ideas and make sure that user experience is smooth and people can actually use what we have came up with.
Right. Yeah.
Are you associated with Ripple in any way? Are they part of XPMarket in any way?
We started XPMarket as a fully independent company. It was 3 of us in the beginning, but at some point we did actually manage to onboard Ripple as our investors into our company. So we have been with Ripple for quite some time right now. We have been working hand to hand. So sometimes we provide support to them with their ideations or market research or even developing certain test products. And sometimes we come for help as well. So it's mutually beneficial partnership.
Very cool. Yeah, Simon.
Cool. No, yeah, that was a high five too, by the way.
I thought.
but no, I do have a question. No, that was a double meaning. just like XP experience or Windows XP. No. My question on that's I find that very interesting, and congratulations to you and your team that were able to secure first off Ripple's interest So you must be doing some exciting things there. And then for them to put some money on the table for you guys to keep growing and expanding, that too is awesome. And I'm curious, are you, first off, if you're able to share this, cool. If not, I totally understand. But are you the only exchange that's partnered up with Ripple at some level? Or are there other exchanges? Like I've looked over your guys' your site here on your guys' platform. I guess exchange shouldn't be really, it's not a traditional exchange because there's multiple things going on there, right? So it's really a platform. Like your platform or like Magnetic's platform. I know there's some AMMs there. Are there other platforms like yours in nature that have also partnered up with Ripple?
To be honest, I simply do not know. Ripple does not disclose all of their deals, but we know for a
That's just not
fact
fair.
well, Ripple are quite active investors in XRPL's ecosystem because it is really difficult, or at least used to be when we started, to raise external capital from VCs because EVM was a hot topic or Solana. And if you don't match any of those sticks, you are normally disregarded as a potential candidate for investment. And as a young company, you do need capital to build before you become self-sustainable. So Ripple definitely helps a lot of companies with that, and not just financially, but by other support. Plus, they have accelerator programs. So they might have invested into much more companies than we know. It's just simply not public all the time.
No, that's thank you for your answer there. I didn't think they would just tell everybody who's on the list and who's not, so to speak. I just found some similarities between your guys' platform and others, which I think is great. And I was like, wow, this is first off, again, I think it's really great that Ripple does that and that you guys are benefiting from that. I think that's great. You want to talk about a company that really wants to help support the ecosystem, that shows it right there. And I think that's great. Thank you for sharing that tidbit. Melissa, go ahead. That was my question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, speaking of that, Simon, and it did bring that to mind, you know, how would you say XPMarket is unique within the XRP ledger system as compared to the other DEXs that are on there, or other platforms that are on there, like First Ledger and Magnetic? Is there something that makes you stand out to compare to those two?
In essence, when someone is developing a project on XRP Ledger, there is one very specific criteria that every co-founder or a team has to meet, and it's being creative. Because XRP Ledger, while it is relatively simple to start developing on the ledger, it requires not so much resources compared to other blockchains, plus not so much expenses for the marketing and to get through the noise of other products. You will be challenged with one simple problem: how do you monetize your product? And XRP Ledger at this time does not really support on-chain monetization. So, for example, when you trade on Uniswap does get a portion of trading fees. Even if you trade through a wallet like Trust Wallet also get a portion of the trading fees. And we can't do that on XPMarket. So we have to be creative and find ways how we can make revenue elsewhere. And by being creative, we can come up with different engaging solutions. So for example, XPMarket currently has a GameFi feature, so gamified funds, which we call season passes. And this season is around conspiracies. Quite interesting and engaging.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Ways how we can, for example, generate revenue. We sell season passes to our community members. Imagine like you would be playing a game like Fortnite or something on mobile.
Right.
You would normally be sold a season pass. It's totally optional. You can take it or leave it, but if you take, you unlock a lot of additional content. And this is what we
Right.
try to do. We unlock users additional rewards, additional tasks, some partner tokens, which is always nice to have and nice to learn about.
Oh,
And
nice.
this is what I
Nice.
call creative element. And
Yep.
we also have to be adaptive. We have to understand what are the trends on XRP Ledger itself, because XRP Ledger is relatively closed ecosystem, and it might be living its own life and have its own vision. But we also have to be vigilant about what's happening on other blockchains, and that can be both EVM blockchains and non-EVM blockchains. Like right now, we have AI agents. We have to see whether this AI agents is something that is beneficial for XRP Ledger or something that we would like to bring to XRP Ledger. Do we have expertise to do so? Do we want to bridge any of the ideas from other blockchains in terms of decentralized finance? If we do want, can we do that? Does XRP Ledger support this? Because, as I mentioned, creativity is important. All blockchains have limitations, and we have to understand them and acknowledge them. And when we do so, we can see whether there is a way around, or we keep this idea for a future and maybe use it in future. But for example, the idea with season passes, it's something we got inspired from the games. So we, with co-founders, do play Fortnite from time to time. And we all have.
How about Call of Duty? Do y'all play Call of Duty?
Yes, I know.
Okay, good. All right.
And there is season pass with cosmetics, and you're like, oh, that would be cool to have on a blockchain. Like, imagine you unlock some rewards. Those can be cosmetics or not just cosmetics. Plus, you get additional currency, which can unlock your future season pass essentially for free. And you're like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. How do we do that? And now we started brainstorming. But also, XPMarket has other features. So data analytics, we try to build data analytics platform in the way how it would be useful to us, because ultimately we are also XPMarket users and we started building for ourselves. So first we see what do we need, and then we see how this aligns with our community and what they need and how we can now merge it together. There definitely were a lot of, maybe not a lot, but there are several competitors in terms of data aggregation on XRP Ledger. And it's always interesting to watch what approach different projects take. Some might take kind of indie approach and find their own niche style, how they represent the data. Some will go with already established solution. For example, take CoinMarketCap template and simply pre-populate with XRP Ledger data, which is familiar to the users, but it might not necessarily solve your own problem, what you want to see. And we always try to analyze as much as we can, see as many projects from different blockchains as we can. And it's important, as I mentioned, to understand the trend and what other creative teams manage to achieve and what works and what does not work. And then to see if it works on XRP Ledger. So it's always iteration of what we have built in the past and how we feel it about now. Because XPMarket was rebuilt several times from scratch, essentially, when we have developed something and like, no, that's not suitable anymore. I don't like visuals, not enough information. And we're like, scratch it. Not all
Start
team,
over.
not all team
Let's try again.
about that. Yeah, because that's a lot of work. Definitely a lot of work in terms of making new idea and then building it, but it's always worth it.
Yeah. Well, it's like writing that term paper where you got all your notes and your first draft, second draft, third draft, and until you come up with the final product. And every time you do that, you grow, and you being with the attention to detail, those little details, I think when you give those attention, you can address issues. You can stop them, hit them off at the path before they cause larger issues. And so I commend you guys on actually restarting when you knew you needed to, because I think at the end of the day, that's what's going to be a stable product. At the end of the day, it's going to be more stable, and you won't be disappointing people that come into your platform and only,
It's like
you know,
you talk
can't
it
be
like
conspired.
writing a paper when you do something and you think it's perfect, but in every academic process, when you write a paper, there's peer review process where you have external people reviewing it, and our peer
Yeah.
reviewers are actually our community. So they come and tell like this does not work, and we're like, okay, we need to fix it, and then like we don't like it, and it sometimes it does break my heart when someone
Yeah.
says we don't like it, because you thought this will be a brilliant feature, like the killer one, and people say
Bro,
like,
I can
no, I
so
don't like
relate
it.
to
I'm like,
that.
okay,
I can
okay,
so
I have
relate
to
to this.
accept it and
Yeah.
rebuild it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I-
just like, do you have those? Wait, do you still have those moments where you kind of look at them and you're just like, really,
Yes.
really? Hold on. Have you had your coffee today? Here's a cigarette. Have a cigarette. Just have it. I don't think you're all there right now.
I remember doing my
Oh,
first
man.
own recorded video and having somebody watch it and go, I'd give it a B minus. And I was so proud of it and happy. And I'm like, a B minus, you know, why don't you just jab me in the heart, give me a B minus. But yes, I commend you for taking those jabs, because you do learn and grow from it. And that's a great example for others to follow too. Appreciate that.
In that process though, Artur, every time you guys start over per se, right? Say, no, we're going to revamp. How more efficient have you guys gotten over the course of your time, and every time that you tear it down and you build it up? Between the first time and maybe the second time, you guys built it faster. And then the third time, in comparison to the first time, you built it twice as faster, and that's part of that growth process. Have you noticed that, of how you're able to, by comparison to when you guys first started to now, to when you guys are making adjustments on the fly, or you like something and you want to add it or take away? Is it kind of at lightning speed, where at first it was like, how do we do that?
Yeah, I definitely understand what you are asking. And to this stage, we can still move relatively fast, and we can iterate quite quickly. And if we see that we need to deliver something like tomorrow, we can still do it. Of course, we'll have to prioritize and see how important it is, but we can do it. And that's the beauty of working in a startup, because we're still quite small. And since we are relatively small, we can move much faster than a corporation, for example. Corporation will have to go through 20 layers of management. Everyone will have to agree, schedule calls about scheduling the calls, and then they will probably make something. So we don't have to do that.
Yeah, no red tape.
Plus we have made a lot of not really templates, but the elements which we can either recycle or that we have not released yet, and we are simply adapting them for future releases. For example, we have a launchpad. So a launchpad that we have developed quite some time ago, more than half a year ago, and it was specifically for a token launch, because all other blockchains that we know, they have a launchpad platform which you can use to raise extra capital, plus build your community. And it was not present on a ledger. And we built it specifically for fungible tokens. And then we realized that we can actually do exactly the same for NFTs. We can make NFTs launchpad. And all we had to do, make some changes. And here we already have something that we have already built with minor changes, and it can go live tomorrow. And even right now, we have maybe 5 or 6 sub projects or sub products that we have in development, but we are either not really happy with how they're built, or maybe we think it's either too early for XRP Ledger or too late. And too late is also something that happens. So they're sitting there, but we can take them, recycle, adapt, and release to the market and implement them.
Man, that's really cool that you guys are at that level. Just like in gaming, I'm sure you've played enough online gaming to where
Most
your favorite game it'll have map packs, season pass, but they will take a familiar map, but they'll just change a lot of the visual interface. This building might be over here, this building might be over there, but the map and scale is the same. I bring up Nuketown on Call of Duty. Everybody knows that map in Nuketown. They just changed a few variables and a few bonuses within that map, and so they too recycle those things in gameplay. That's great that you guys are thinking about it, in my opinion, like that, and you guys are ready to make changes on the fly. I think that's wonderful.
And also change the dynamic how users navigate, because when we have a large product like XPMarket, we have a lot of different features, and sometimes our community doesn't even know that, for example, we have a DEX or a swap or data analytics platform or portfolio manager, any of those. And we have to show our community that all these features are already present here. And navigation, user navigation, is something that we try to dedicate a lot of time and attention, because we want to make sure our community can actually navigate XPMarket. Because when you go to something like CoinMarketCap, I'll take it as an example, most people know about it because it has top tokens. You can search any of them and you'll find any token which is listed there. Yeah. But you can also look for decentralized exchanges, centralized exchanges. There's even airdrop sections, ICO section. So if you don't go there specifically out of curiosity and explore the options, you will not know about it, because the most popular options have to be easily accessible. And that's what we try to do.
Yeah, almost in your face. They need to be, for the newbies, you get in there and you're navigating around and you don't really know. But then once you start using things, you're like, oh, this is super easy. It's just dipping your toe into it in the beginning. And you definitely need to make it so that it's easy for people to.
Yeah, it has to be easy. I agree, Melissa. I totally agree. And from my perspective, during this recording, I'm actually on this other screen looking over your guys' platform. It's very easy. I could actually probably take a few of my day 2 cryptocurrency clients and say, hey, come check this out. We're going to practice over here with everything that I'm talking about, because it's very well laid out, and it is in your face. It's got big enough print so people can read it, go, hey, right here. Oh, there it is. Huge, bright purple buttons to say, do this, your call to action buttons, which is great. I like that, but it's not so bright that it hurts the eyes, but it does draw your attention in there. So in my opinion on that, it's well done. Simply put.
And one thing I want to say, and I've noticed a lot with this with the XRP community, people that support the XRP ledger. I want to commend you for thinking about the end user, the people that are using your site, and tailoring it towards making it easy, because those of us that are in the digital asset space, cryptocurrency, blockchain, whatever you want to call it, we realize that we're entering a future that's much different when it comes to finance and commerce, the whole 9 yards. Everything's getting kind of changed up. Back in the day, these types of websites were geared towards maybe people that were more savvy when it came to investing. And so when someone like myself would stumble upon a site like that, it looked like it was way over my head. And so that kind of perpetuated the feeling of, these people are above me. They know more than I do. I don't know anything. It looks scary. And so therefore, I'm not even going to look into this any further. Giving the public these kind of tools, this kind of an ecosystem, being able to come into it and have it look simple and have things being easy to interact with is huge, because you're going to get your mom and pop, your young people, your older people to actually decide they can dip their toe and give them the confidence. And then with XRP's community being so welcoming and uplifting, I really feel like platforms like what you provide are going to, just expand this ecosystem by miles and miles. So kudos to you for that.
And people do often talk, probably a little bit less right now in the past month, but people still talk about blockchain abstraction and technology abstraction. And this is something that we also try to do on XRP Ledger, because as I mentioned, while XRP Ledger is relatively simple to use, it's still quite complicated because of the limitations it provides, but also because of the feature it provides. And our users definitely don't need to know how an AMM pool works, or they don't need to know which order type to select when they create a limit order, like which flag to put, which order type to select. We do it for them. We simply give them the best option for this specific scenario, and we don't give an option to change it because they don't need to worry themselves about making those complicated decisions. Because if you provide me a UI right now on XRP Ledger, which will give me an option like fail to kill or good till cancel, I'll sit for a couple of minutes and think like, which one do I need to use? Like, I have no idea.
Right.
But when we have thought as much as we can, and we also learn from the feedback on what users use, we try to hide the blockchain somewhere behind, and all they have to do is press a button. So for example, a good example is how to create a meme coin. And if we talk about blockchains like Binance Chains or Solana, creating a meme coin is essentially one-click transaction. All you have to do is pay for it, and then a smart contract does all for you in one single action. And it will look on the blockchain pretty much like a single action. On a XRP Ledger, it will be much more complicated. If we would have to ask a user to create a meme coin from scratch, that would involve a lot of signing of transactions, and probably somewhere halfway, I would give up because the process looks like this. You as a user come to a platform and you pre-populate all the fields, you tell how you want to call your amazing token, you get the best logo you want with amazing description, and then you click sign the transaction. And what it essentially does, you have to create a new wallet first. And to create a new wallet, you have to activate it. Then once you have activated it, you have to set up an account. So basically make certain settings for this specific wallet. So now it is an issuer account. So if you're a general user, you are new to this ecosystem, you will not know what to do. Even not all developers who develop on XRP Ledger, not all of them know to do, and not because they're not intelligent enough. It's simply because they don't use this feature every day.
Right.
And then you have to set up a trust line, then one more trust line, then send tokens, and that's like 5 transactions. And all we have to do, we actually ask user to sign one, but we will carry out the rest on their behalf in invisible manner. It's still trackable on the blockchain. It's just we have simplified it, and the user doesn't have to go through all this complexity. So we provide still the same Solana experience, but hidden somewhere from the user.
That's incredible. And, I heard you. It's funny. I one of my questions is, how easy is it to launch a token? I was listening to you on Stone Space, and you were talking about the tokenomics and how different it was with what like launching it through XPMarket. Can you go into that a little bit? There's two questions. Number one, all of those transactions that you said that get done in the background for the person, so they just have to sign once and then you do everything. When someone goes to build a token on XPMarket, is there something that that they can read to that at least it'll tell you these are all the things that we're doing in the background as you're creating your token, so that they know when they sign it, this and this is happening?
We do not actually write the whole pathway how it works. We do include the description of the fees, and these fees are usually related to trust lines and wallet activation. And that's it. So from that, you can make an understanding on what's happening, but we don't draw the flow chart to explain. So we never were asked for that. So we never actually thought about doing it. Doesn't mean we will not do if there's such request, but it's just not there right now.
I know for me personally, because I'm cautious, and I am I'm considering creating a token, and kind of dipping my toe into that and looking for the different places to build, and how to do it. And I know for me, I would want to know that, but that's just kind of how I am. That's how I am when I dip my toe into things, and I like to see how it's going. And I just wondered if that was something that could be done.
So one of the reasons why it also was never explained, because when I was digging into all the theme of meme coins, and obviously I started with pump.fun because I wanted to understand what actually happens. And a lot of people that I asked, like, okay, so what's happening? Then they're like, oh, that's very simple. You go to pump.fun, you pay somewhat Solana fee, and it's done. It goes to the bonding curve. I'm like, okay, so what is bonding curve? And that was one of the first roadblocks I had to uncover myself, because I didn't know any people who could explain me what a bonding curve is. And essentially, it's like a mathematical formula, which we don't have to analyze right now. But all it means that the later you buy, the more expensive the token is. But then you have to understand how more expensive, till which point. And then you start to unravel all those aspects, because on other blockchains, you would take a certain amount to the bonding curve, and once a milestone is reached, an AMM pool is created. And like, oh wow, then there's an AMM pool which is being created. How does this happen? Because on XRP Ledger, we start with the AMM pool straight away, because we don't have a bonding curve. We can't make it in a decentralized way. So this is why we kind of removed all this unnecessary knowledge, or excessive knowledge, shall I say so, because people do not actually want to know, or they don't have an idea of trying to understand what's happening under the hood. So the same way how you send your money from one bank account to another, I certainly don't think that there might be a bank in between or something else in between. I just know that the person receives it, and that's good to me. And most people want similar experience. They want to click a button and have a token created, and that's all that they care about.
So how is it different, though? I heard you talking about the different way that when you launch the tokens. How is it different than other places?
So compared to other places, we decided that we will try something new. It will either work or it will not work as we expected, because when you develop something new, something that has not been tested, you are going to take a certain level of risk of whether it will fail or not. So we decided that first of all, we knew that our competitors are allowing flexible tokenomics. You can select how many tokens you want to mint. But from other blockchains, I knew that platforms usually have a fixed amount of tokens. I didn't go into details why they decided to have 1 billion of tokens in pretty much all of the cases. But for XRP Ledger, I already knew the audience we are talking to and what people want. And I knew that if we have less options, we will reduce user frustration. Because when you provide a fixed tokenomics and you say that we will mint 1 billion tokens for you, and yes, not everyone might want 1 billion. Someone will want 1 trillion or just 1 million. But this is a sweet spot for a meme coin because we see this on the market. If we analyze the tokens, we will see that memes are usually in a billion of supply or above. So we already removed this thought element, like how many tokens I have to mint.
Yes.
Then we have a preset on the initial liquidity pool, and we call them common, uncommon, rare, etc. We also
Right.
provide a hint how large it is in terms of rarity, because rarity gives you a sense of the value. And it also removes this thought burden on what to select. It becomes easier. Yes, it removes flexibility that you might want, but it introduces simplification and ease of use. And then the last element that we have implemented, and no one has it right now, is airdrops. And airdrops usually require a little bit more explanation because while it is very simple, it's a little bit more complicated. Because airdrops on XPMarket, they work as a marketing campaign that you don't have to pay for to XPMarket. Whenever you mint a token, a fixed percent of total supply, it's 40%, will be allocated to the airdrop. And our native token holders, XPM token holders, they can get this airdrop if they set up a trust line. So essentially, this airdrop is being advertised on XPMarket's webpage, so people can see it. They see there's a token, and it hangs there for at least 2 days for people to learn. So they can click, see what's happening. Then they receive this token. And for a token developer, what it provides is initial core community, and that boosts the number. So it boosts number of trust lines, plus provides a substantial number of holders. And from the very start, you can have already thousands of holders of your newly minted meme token, which is quite amazing. And normally we would charge a fee for marketing on XPMarket, but because the token was launched through the meme pool, we will not charge it because that's the part of mechanism. It already rewards our XPM holders. So that's win-win to us, and we like when people can leverage this feature to their benefit. And we actually saw not just meme coins being minted through our platform, but something you could call infrastructure or utility projects. One is DEX, I believe. They are building some kind of data analytics platform, and they also use XPMarket, and that was quite a surprise to me. I thought that potentially you could issue a non-meme coin token through XPMarket, but we have never seen that being done until recently. And now we're also thinking like how we can now take this use case or case study and develop into something more for actual developers of non-meme coins, because markets, they move in cycles. Now we have memes, then we'll have something else. And if we provide a universal tool to mint any kind of token, that also can be very interesting.
I mean, that's just incredible, huh?
And that's where my foot is in the pool, is on that with the side projects that started out as a conversation, and now here I am thinking about, okay, well, I think I'm gonna have to create a token. How do the tokenomics work? Where do I put it? Can others just participate in a pool to provide liquidity to the other aspect of this token? And it's not a meme. It'll be a utility token, to provide liquidity globally to other businesses. But I'm just going to leave it at that. But this sounds like a good place to definitely for me to try, and others to
dip
try.
your toe.
Dip my toe. Absolutely dip my toe. Well, I'm probably going to do a cannonball. You know how I do. I don't dip my toe. I just jump in the deep end of the pool and hopefully I can swim. Especially after eating. To go back though, Artur, you bring a very valid point, right? Something that starts out as a meme, a joke. It's a joke until it's not. Haha, I quote 68J, love you, brother.
Yeah.
With Shikaka coin. And we learn with that, but then we really provide the utility onto what was a meme is no longer a meme. It's business, and that's the elevation in that. So you're absolutely right. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Looks like I'm not going to be getting any sleep either, as I probably will be very much diving
Looking
down
into this?
XP. Yeah, I'll be looking at an XPMarket rabbit hole for a little while. So thank you for the no sleep.
Yeah,
no problem at all.
I think it's pretty cool, like you're catering to both the end users and the builders with
Smart.
this
Yep.
product, which is very smart. Because you're going to get feedback from both sides, which is
Cool.
super cool, super smart, super cool. Gosh, we've talked about a lot of things. Is the Tomo file? Is that part of launching a token, or is that just an NFT issue?
So that's a more technical question that I might not be able to answer you completely.
Yeah.
But that TOML file is essentially where you store essential information about your token.
Yes.
So that anyone else can refer to it and get the basic information if it is provided. If it's provided, great. This information can be gathered in a somewhat decentralized way. If it's not, then manual entering will be required. But I don't really have deep knowledge on how this works.
My main question is because our friend Optimistic Prime, Amanda Jones, she has the butt token and the wandering footprint. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her. She has several different projects that are kind of all integrated with one another. And one of her roadblocks had to do with that Tomo file and, not being able to change it. And so I guess I was wondering, when you launch a token through XPMarket, is the Tomo file being hosted with you, or does it do we have still control over it? Because I think there was something to do with, like, once you've launched it, unless you did this, that, and the other, it was locked forever, and then that's the information for your token. So I just wondered if as it goes through these automatic steps, if there would still be.
Automatic steps are really important, but I would say that the most important step that you want to make during the creation of the token, you want to ensure that you have the correct number of tokens to be released and a correct ticker. So these two are probably the most important parameters that you want. The rest can be changed with other platforms. You can go to XRP Scan and you can actually request them to help you add the information. You can go to XPMarket and you can request us to also amend the information. And then we have a wider ecosystem beyond XRPL, like CoinMarketCap. And you can also provide all the information that you want, because they will not look into this tiny file. They have no clue what it is, because CoinMarketCap is fully centralized and you have to manually apply and manually fill all the fields. So this file is useful for automated systems which do not require human supervision, but the elements where human supervision is present, that's not a big issue, and that can be always fixed until you want to fix your total supply and your token ticker.
Thank you very much for answering that question. I appreciate you. What are some of the most innovative features that you've introduced as of late on XPMarket, besides the token creation, which I think is pretty cool?
I would still say it is season passes. We are on our 4th season pass or 3rd. I lost the count. Time in a startup environment, time just flies incredibly. But while we have already had a couple of them, I believe this one is the most successful because we have learned from the past season passes. We see what our community likes, and we do see that this engaged participation does attract attention from our users. They like to hunt for the hints, for the codes. They are very excited when they find a code and enter into our web page to get extra reward. And something that feels like a very, very simple feature that's basically on the surface. It was really complicated, and we have to do a lot of ideation on kind of like scenario or the ideas where the plot will twist, because there is still some story behind it. And this actually takes a lot of time and a lot of ideation. But if you ask about innovation, so this is also where XPMarket meets with AI, artificial intelligence, because we as humans, we do have some crazy ideas, but to make them even more crazy, well, we either have to do some stuff which we would not want to do, or feed it to AI. I know I like that you liked it. So we either have to feed it to AI and tell AI like be hallucinogenic, create some nonsense out of it, and it just takes and spins it even more. So you can create a script, then you can take the script and you can use AI to actually voice it. And then you can again take AI and create images, videos, blend everything together. And it's actually incredible how it both speeds up the process, but also introduces the next level of quality. Sometimes, for example, visual quality might not be so important, but the general picture is really important. It's like with the games. Some games you can have AAA game with amazing graphics, but you might not want to play it because the story is not exciting.
Boring.
While you can take indie games and play for hundreds and hundreds of hours, like, oh my god, this game has so crappy graphics, and I'm still playing it. And if you put this together in a nice way, you present it to the community also in a easy to understand way, it becomes quite a huge success. I believe our season pass is huge success because right now, let me check actually. So XPMarket is always open on my browser. And right now we have 1,100 different agents. So we call agents people who got a season pass.
Wow.
1,100, that's a lot of people, especially for XRP Ledger. If we take into account that on an average day, we have between 3,000 to 4,000 unique active wallets engaging with our service. So that's a lot of people. That's amazing conversion rate. And we are really proud to see of both what we have achieved, but both the XRP Ledger community who tries to explore new features and they're not afraid to explore them.
That's very important too. That point that you're making, that they're not afraid to explore it, because what I've noticed initially, well, first of all, some people don't know, like, hey, we need you to explore. You are kind of like the beta testers of what's being built right now, right? And I don't think some early folks really understand that, or now they do. More and more people are recognizing that this is our time to explore around and use these things and see what works, what doesn't work. And so that's really cool that you're seeing an increase of people that got the message. we need you doing that. What has been the biggest challenge with executing your visions, your ideas on the XP market? Have you hit any roadblocks?
I guess every single time when you try to create something more unusual, it's already complicated. But for a couple of years, XRP Ledger was really difficult to work on because it had not enough of users. Of course, now we have XRP that went much higher than most people would want it, or not high enough. But in essence, price appreciation is the best marketing you can get. And since XRP price appreciated, we also saw a huge influx of new users. But even half a year ago, this number was so low that on average day, XPMarket would have 500 people, and that would be a lot. And as you can understand, 500 people back then would put us in, first of all, top 3 dApps on XRP Ledger in terms of DeFi platforms. But in absolute numbers, it's very, very little. And because this in absolute numbers is very little, you cannot really monetize on your users because you can't charge maybe a handful of people. That will be unfair. And first of all, it's unfair because you have to go for the minority, but you would also have to have a really high price tag, which will be unaffordable. It's like with every scaling of any product, the more you make, the cheaper it becomes. But if it's quite unique in production, that it will be expensive. And now that we have more people, we have larger community who can pay for the things, people who are more willing to experiment and engage with different elements. But monetization is still relatively complicated. We do overcome it using creative ways, but we're still waiting for on-chain monetization. In other words, to be more technical, there is an amendment which is called batch transactions. We are waiting for it, and it will allow us to implement a tiny fee on every transaction a user does. For example, if someone goes to the DEX, they will trade on the DEX, and we will charge 0.05% fee, for example, like a standard DEX fee or standard centralized exchange fee. Right now, when people trade on XPMarket, we don't charge anything, and we simply can't do that. And it is not important just to us as XPMarket. Of course, you want to monetize. It is important to monetize your product, otherwise you will not be sustainable and you will be out of the business. But it's even more important to have monetization so that you can attract other developers. Because right now in XRP Ledger, we do not have so many products or so many developers. We can pretty much name every single developer ourselves, and we know all of them in essence. And once there is monetization, I predict that we will definitely have much more builders coming to XRP Ledger. And more builders means more competition. It means that we will have to innovate even harder because we will have to keep up with competition. And it also means that probably the cost of different services will drop because people are again competing one with another. But it will also just bring a variety of different tools, different ideas. Because what we build at XPMarket, we use our own mental resources, our own imagination, but someone might have a totally different approach or a totally different need. And once they come, they can implement it and capitalize on it, which is great. It makes ecosystem larger and healthier. And if XRPL ecosystem grows, then it also impacts the underlying asset, XRP. You can actually even see this right now with Trump token on Solana. While all the market is dipping down, it's like in double digits sometimes in the losses. You can see that Trump token, since it's on Solana, Solana does actually go in price. And it does make a clear sense why. Because you need a gas token to transact on layer 1 blockchain. And it will be exactly the same for XRP Ledger. Once we have more builders, more apps, more users, it will all compound and at some point explode even more. So that's how I see it.
What's your speculation on why they don't currently, or they didn't initially have the ability to have a fee like you're referring to? Like why do you think they didn't have that to begin with?
I don't know. I would have to ask, I guess, David Schwartz or someone else who was at the early roots of the development. But we have to understand that XRP Ledger is really, really old blockchain. Not in terms of like it's outdated old, but it's been here for a long time. And it actually was one of the first blockchains with integrated DEX into it. I still want to explain to people that there is a DEX on the blockchain. They don't understand it because on other blockchains, you have to have a smart contract, which is a DEX. So it's very different here. But blockchain is a dynamic organism, if you would like to call it. And once the whole ecosystem develops and matures, so does the blockchain. And blockchain has to adapt to external factors. So something that has not been obvious 10 years ago or was not required at all, this could be a reason why it was never added. There was no thought about it, there was no need for it, and hence it was omitted. But now we do see a fierce competition from other blockchains, and we do know that now we need NFTs, now we need AMM pools, now we also need transaction fees, and those do come with time. It definitely takes a little bit longer than I would personally want, but they do come, and we know that there is amendment for that. We simply have to wait to be finalized and then voted to implement. But with time, XRP Ledger is also growing, it's evolving, and it's becoming more and more complete ecosystem for the DeFi.
Yeah. There's a lot of Solana people coming over on the XRP Ledger. I wonder if you saw a significant increase in users on XPMarket since that happened. I don't know, a couple months ago. With the first ledger launching, they really brought the attention of the Solana folks to the XRP Ledger, and now all of those influencers, builders, community are really starting to champion the XRP Ledger. What do you think about that? I mean, that's a good sign, yes.
So in terms of the developers, we do see that there are quite a few developers from the Solana, and you can actually even tell the difference by the approach they take. On XRP Ledger, since it was quite closed ecosystem and a lot of developers were actually first-time developers starting with XRP Ledger, you could see the approach which they take in developing their product. And I know a couple of developers from Solana of different meme coins, and you can see how structured they are. They have this plan on how to take a coin and how to push it out, how to.
They got it on lockdown, don't they?
Yes, you can tell they know what they're doing because they have some sort of template that they are either recycling or improving, but we can see a much more professional approach. It's not that they want to downgrade the approach of XRPL developers from original XRPL developers, but this is where we can learn from people who come from other blockchains, because those blockchains are super competitive, and you do have to have a certain set of skills and knowledge to overcome this competition. And they do bring it here, which obviously elevates the whole XRP Ledger with a next level of standard. And it was quite similar when XPMarket came to XRP Ledger as well, because many tokens that have been launched, they do not have any cliffs or vesting schedule. There is a wallet, and everyone says like, oh, this wallet, it has X amount of tokens, that's it. And we provided a spreadsheet with number of tokens, number of allocations, which goes where, when they're being released. Yes, we have no escrow, but at least you can verify using blockchain. So we bet our trust and you can verify it. But we also see a lot of community members coming from different blockchains. I can't really pinpoint where they come from in most cases, but of course, Solana and other EVM blockchains. Right now, we see one of the major limitations for them is the ecosystem of wallets, because many of them are very used to multi-blockchain wallets, where you have one wallet, like Trust Wallet, for example, and it supports everything you need from Solana to any EVM blockchain. And we still miss this on XRP Ledger, and sometimes when we have a support request, we do have to explain people why they need a specific wallet from this specific ecosystem. And sometimes it's a burden to enter. So it's a roadblock for them and they don't know, like, and they're telling us like, but look, Trust Wallet has XRP. Can you use it? And like, yeah, it has XRP, but you can't use it for XRP Ledger tokens. So another educational element. So I believe the next stage, which we could see another influx of users, is when we start seeing those multi-chain wallets integrating XRP Ledger ecosystem. And that will be probably wave 2. We already know that XRPL Labs helped Ledger, or they developed a firmware to support XRPL ecosystem. And we know that Ledger is, I think, second most used wallet on XPMarket. I personally used Ledger on XPMarket. So you can see how multi-chain wallets are important because they reduce this entry barrier. And once we have more, that will be quite interesting to see how the landscape will change again, what kind of users we will see. Will they understand all those technical nuances like wallet activation and trust lines? Because that's also another topic for discussion.
You know, I was just having a thought, Melissa, while he was talking about the issue that people hit. I have XRP in the Trust wallet. Can't I just use my Trust wallet?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about Sheer Will, who we had on the show last week. I think there might be a workaround there because if you think of the concept of text RP, where you're sending information back and forth from one public address to another, it's encrypted, but essentially that's what's going on. So I'm wondering if the same thing could happen, because all you really need is your address in the text RP. So I wonder if that could be a fix here. Just planting a seed out there for a later discussion.
Yeah, you would still have to connect your wallet. So since we do not manage private keys, XPMarket is fully decentralized platform. We don't have access to any of the wallets, and users normally scan a QR code and they sign a transaction on their wallet.
Right, like Simon.
And even with Trust Wallet, if we have Wallet Connect, for example, and they will sign, it will actually fail on Trust Wallet. So I have tried it, it does fail. And that's the first limitation. Since you can't connect a wallet, you can't really use the platform. Right. And then even if you connect a wallet somehow, you still have to sign those transactions like swaps, trust lines. And if a wallet does not support it, it will not work. It's exactly the same with Ledger right now. Ledger does not support AMM deposits and withdrawals. If you use XPMarket, for example, to do so, Ledger will not respond because if I have no idea what you're asking me to do, there is no software code for me to do it, and it will just sit there and do nothing. And this is why we need this update to make it work.
So, okay. So connecting to the wallet directly obviously doesn't work, right? In regards to Trust Wallet, right? That's a fail. Okay. So, but what about the wallet is just the app is the user's interface to look at what's going on in that specific coin rather than that wallet. But the address is on the blockchain, right? And Melissa, correct me if I'm wrong here. With TextRP, you're sending a message wallet to wallet, not app to app, right?
But
okay.
Yes, but I believe that is just the Zaman wallets that are on through the Zaman. I could be wrong though, actually, now that you're saying that.
Well, just address the address.
You will see that message on the Block Explorer. So if you open the Block Explorer, you will be able to see everything there. Okay. You will not be able to see it on the actual wallet. So for example, I can still use my Zaman wallet imported to Trust Wallet. And I will see my XRP there. But I will not see my tokens because Trust Wallet does not display them. Yet, if I go to the Block Explorer, I will see everything. So There are technical limitations which prevent you from doing certain actions, yet they can be visible from certain ways around.
I'm just curious here though, the signing, the approving of the transaction. I'm wondering if that can just be done through the blockchain or through the block explorer itself, as a workaround. If you can't, if Trust Wallet's app is not going to allow you or enable you the ability to sign, where Zaman Wallet will, right? Is there a way to skirt the apps and just do that on the blockchain itself? Because you're sending data back and forth. So, you want to do this transaction, something happens on the blockchain, I need to approve it, but still you're saying, oh, send this back, send this over here, I approve. Yes, he approves. Do we got confirmation? Send back confirmation. And it goes back and forth rather quickly. So I was just thinking, as a workaround, that may be possible. I don't know. It's morning time for me.
You can definitely do a lot of stuff using the blockchain directly, because ultimately all wallets, so no wallet is something that people often do not realize. No blockchain wallet holds your funds. All blockchain wallets, they are just a web browser to access a blockchain, if you would like to explain so. So, but in your scenario, we're starting to lose the whole idea of having a wallet then, because the whole purpose of a wallet is to make it as simple as possible. And if we start making user to question how do I do that, the wallet starts to lose its purpose. So I think a lot can be done, a lot of ways around can be figured out. I can't answer that question right now, but we still want wallets to support native features, because it's better for everyone.
Absolutely. You want that end user needs to have that control at their fingertips. Totally agree. I was just coming from a perspective of a workaround and the Trust Wallet issue. Just wondering if something could be implemented there. That's all. But that's great explanation. Dipitors, when you watch this, I want you to rewind what he just said about what the importance of the wallet, and also being able to check out the Explorer. Those are very good things for you all to know. So go back and rewatch that.
Thanks, Simon. I just wanted to go back to the meme thing again real quick. No, well, I guess because we were talking about growing the XRP ledger and XRPMarket and just the community as a whole. And we were talking about Solana folks starting to come over and their experience and how they launch tokens and how they interact and drive sales and that sort of thing. How important do you think the meme community is for the growth of, say, the XRP itself, or XRP Ledger, and platforms like XPMarket? Are they super important, the meme community, or not?
You can always take two approaches here. You can either take something that is already working and there's a huge demand and there is a trend. And we can clearly see that there is a trend in meme coins, and people do want to trade meme coins. They trade them in huge volumes and in different quantities. So we want to support this trend and provide tools for people to use them on other blockchains. So it's not like we want to change their habits. We want to ensure that they can support these habits elsewhere. But you can also always take another approach, which is much more complicated and will fail in 99% of all cases. You will have to create your own trend. And I would say that Pump.Fun was that element which created its own trend. It was definitely something new, or even if it wasn't super new, they made it the best at that moment. So if we can create any interesting trend, then we definitely have to do so. If we are still in the development, in ideation, then we have to provide familiar tools to people from other blockchains. And it's not just with meme coins. We had a really good run with Telegram mini apps. A lot of people were using Telegram mini apps, and those were not so popular on XRP Ledger. So Tone was still dominating the space. Then we had other blockchains, but XRP Ledger still didn't really manage to lift this trend off. There were some attempts, but they were not a huge success. So you can also see that even when we provide certain tools, we still have to evaluate how we will onboard users. Will users understand and like it? And we have to make certain adjustments. So to answer your question, I believe that meme coins are important. It does not mean I have to like meme coins or I have to support it, but I have to acknowledge that people like them and people support them.
Well, and as far, so I am kind of, here's the thing. When you think of like NFTs and meme coins, right? Sometimes my mind kind of wants to put them together, like, because there's so many people selling the NFTs right now. And I look at those as collectibles, part of a community, right? But then when you look at the parts of a meme coin, why are people buying a meme coin? Same thing, part of a community, that sort of thing. Both of them you have opportunity to make some money with. I look at both of those types of things as a starting point for learning how these work. And like what Simon was saying, he knows real world business that has an idea that may want to tokenize and learn how to do this. And so, just as you were opening XPMarket and creating something and then starting over and creating something and starting over, like figuring out, like writing that term paper, I feel like meme coins and NFTs can be a fun way to teach ourselves how this whole system can work, and then provide the information on how to actually do real world stuff. Not saying that meme coins aren't real world, because I mean, in some aspects they are for some people, for collectibles and stuff. I mean, when you get down to music and poems and books and all these other things that could be tokenized, I think it's really interesting. So I just wondered, like, am I close to being correct in what meme tokens and NFTs are doing right now?
I think you can definitely say that in some way those are synonyms in terms of how you can onboard users. And as I have been explaining at the very beginning, my first journey started with Bitcoin because Bitcoin was a hot topic. It was like a meme coin back then. Everyone was talking about it. And then it all changed to ICOs. And ICOs were meme tokens of that trend. They had a different name, but they had pretty much the same social elements and the same drivers. So the initial drive that makes people interested, they hear success stories from people who deposited $100 and made $5 million. And those super rare success stories do get to the mind of other people and like, okay, I want to try the same, and I am going to take my $100, put it somewhere, make 1,000 and see how it goes. For some, it goes well. For most, it will usually not go so well. And my ICO experience was quite the former, because I started with $500 at the very beginning. At some point, I reached 4,000, and then I went back to 200. So I started with less. I ended up with less than I started. But it was this initial step that made sure I am still in the game, because I learned, and you always can either give up or move forward. I had a lot of friends who gave up. They called that everything is a scam, crypto is a scam, it's only money grab, and they left and never entered. Well, of
Yeah.
course, they still enter on the bull market, or usually on the top when they start. Like, it's a great time to buy Bitcoin. Like it's
Yeah.
a great time to sell Bitcoin. You're a little bit late. You had to buy like a year ago.
Yeah.
But again, as you mentioned, it is definitely a similar trend. It does capture the interest and attention of people. And those who manage to overcome the initial stress, losses, or profits, because it's a learning curve, they usually stick around for longer. Of course, not all of them, but those who stick, they will either become private investors or they will invest their own capital. And some of them will actually become builders and build something on top of their knowledge.
I'm getting there. Yeah, you're right. We all have to cut our teeth, don't we? We all have our stories, and it's those of us that stay and persevere through it and engage with others that are in this crypto space and teach ourselves, learn from our mistakes. And that is one thing that I love about the XRP community is the desire to help and teach and other people about how all this stuff works. And I've heard lots of people say, take your profits. And in the beginning, you're like, no, I'm keeping this forever. I'm never going to sell this ever. But when you start to realize the way the world works and the ebbs and flows of everything, it really does make sense. But it is kind of scary when you're somebody that, doesn't have a lot of money, you start investing into something and maybe you've never invested in anything in your life, to kind of let go of that is kind of scary. But playing around with the memes and the NFTs could be a little something fun that you can do to try to make a little bit of money and teach yourself in this space.
And it's definitely scary. I remember myself starting this journey, and I had people who have been telling me that probably I'm not the brightest mind by investing my own money into different tokens, and that I will lose everything. I mean, okay, I probably might, but you have to evaluate the risk on how much you can afford to lose against how much upside potential you have. And then you also start to compare multiple factors because it's very complicated. It's a whole investment education and financial education, and it does not come overnight. And then you start to question yourself, like, will I ever make that much money doing 9-to-5 job? And probably you will not. So you either have to have an investment strategy or your own company. And both can fail. Those are all risks. Probably the least risk you take is doing 9-to-5 job, but then you also have the least upside potential. And once I survived my first bull bear cycle, I did make some gains, and people still were telling me, you will lose everything.
Yeah.
I went through the second bull bear cycle and I multiplied again. And same people would still tell me that I'm going to lose everything. Like, yes, I might, but still, I'm taking profits, I'm measuring my risk, and I am trying to capitalize on my knowledge and try to compound what I have made, because 9-to-5 job will not make me that much, especially in science. I remind you, I used to do academic career, and academia doesn't pay you that well.
I too have experienced the you're gonna lose it all, and my rebuttal to that was a little different, but on the same general path. But it was like, yes, and I'll lose it again, and then I'll lose it again, and then I'll lose it again, and then the one time that I win, I will surpass everything that you have done in this job, everything. And I'm not coming from a point of being cocky or anything like that.
Yes.
Those are the facts. So you might want to start watching me lose so you can learn how to win quicker.
Oh, I love it, Simon. That's great. That should be your slogan.
It kind of gets at people, but it's like, this is what we have to do. We have a Melissa and I have a dear friend, Alan Staple, over there at the Staple Crew, and he's a seasoned individual, and he's worked around very wealthy families over the course of his lifetime. And one of his stories that he shares with us on his channel a few times and has told us personally is that one of his clients shared with him how he built his wealth. He says, Alan, it's very simple. It's $10,000. That is the difference between you and me, is I have $10,000 to invest. I might lose that $10,000, but I have another $10,000 that I'm putting together to do it again. And he goes, I only need it to work one time. Thomas Edison, light bulb, he only needed to work one time. Very truthful. So
I love that.
Thank you for sharing that, because that's something that I don't think is really highlighted in the space as much. It's like, you're going to lose everything. It's like, you know, maybe. Are you in this space? Because how do you know I'm going to lose everything?
As you're saying, the difference is 10,000, and at some point you will have amount of money which you can lose, and that can be probably 1 month's salary.
Yes.
And in this regard, it's painful. Losing is always more painful psychologically. Simply psychologically, people don't like to lose. And you might lose it once, twice, but people will never learn from other people's mistakes. They only learn from their own. And even if someone is watching me losing money, they will know that, oh, I am not going to repeat this. But if you lose 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, you're starting to learn the pattern, if you obviously try to learn from it, because you can also do a mistake and never learn from that. But if you try to analyze what you have made wrong, you will definitely start beating some of the odds. You will work on yourself psychologically. You will master that stress. You will create an exit strategy. Because my first bull market, I never had exit strategy. My exit strategy was, my Bitcoin is going to grow forever.
Yes.
No, it didn't grow forever.
Exactly.
Right.
Nailed it.
Long term, it does grow forever, but in that short cycle, it was not that pleasant yet.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what, guys? This is like the crypto, in my opinion, it's teaching people money, like you're saying about the winning and the losing, things that we never really paid attention to. Like some people did, but most of us didn't really give that much attention to money. It's just we got ourselves trapped in the 9-to-5 type job. We work and then put our money in the 401k. We're so disconnected from the whole thing that's going on. And getting involved in learning about digital assets, it forces you, because crypto's not for sissies. It forces you to learn about those types of things and start asking those questions. And so just what you said, you didn't have an exit plan, the first go around, or, Simon, with you winning and losing many, many times, and it's only going to take that one time, and you got to have, once you got your extra 10,000. For me, this is like the first time that I'm actually in profit, right? To where I can afford to take a little bit of risk. And so when you first start to invest, you have to ask yourself, we always tell people, don't play around with more money than you can afford to lose. Take $100, $200, whatever it costs you to go out for a date night, stay in a hotel overnight or whatever, and just put your mind, I'm going to put $200 on this particular project token, whatever, and see what happens. You're not going to be as upset. But if you're going and taking, $20,000 or whatever from some other type of savings when you really don't know what you're doing yet, that's a lot more scary, a lot more risky. But as you start to grow your pot, that money wasn't earned in the same way that we earn from the 9 to 5. And so psychologically saying, I'm going to take 10%, 20% off the top, and I'm going to reinvest these in play, or I got my initial investment back. And so now this is all house money, which is kind of like a gambling thing, which you don't want to say like, oh, it's gambling, but in essence, it kind of is. And so is the freaking stock market. So is trading stuff. So this thing, I just feel like digital assets and crypto is actually allowing us little guys to research these projects, these companies that are creating these innovations that are going to propel us into the future, giving us the opportunity to get in on the ground floor. Whereas if you're talking traditional markets and you want to get into a startup, you can't, because you're not an accredited investor. And so those guys that already have the 10,000, the 100,000, they keep it on lockdown. They lock it in. We're locking this in. We're locking this in for ourselves by doing the work and continuing to do the research and lifting up projects like XPMarket, people like yourself that are building the tools for the little guys like us. Like, I'm sure you want the big guys. Obviously, you have Ripple partnering with you.
Fantastic.
Which is fantastic, but gearing it towards the little guys and still having access to these types of tools is great.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I'm just super excited. I just have a couple more questions and rapid fire and then final thoughts, because I know we've kept you almost 2 hours now. Simon, I don't want to go with my questions unless you have, I want to give you the opportunity to ask a question if I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No questions. No questions for me. Do the rapid fire so we can let Artur probably take a nap.
All right. I just have 2 more questions, and these are more on the personal insight side of things for you. I wondered, what is the most surprising aspect of working in blockchain that you've had so far, that came to you so far?
Oh, I think there's several. First one is how much I have actually learned myself from this financial education point of view. Because I come from the background where investing is treated as pure gambling. And when you're new, and when people tell me that you are investing and you're going to lose, so the stigma was that I'm going to lose. So there was no education that I might lose, but I also might amplify. And when I started all this financial education, self-education, I started to understand even things that I have never touched or never needed, like mortgages or CPI, like Consumer Price Index. Asked me like 5 years ago, no idea. Now I know what to expect from that. I know what are those reports. I know how to act on this, because we all as people have our personal finance and we need to plan them. We need to understand how we're going to spend. And if someone's taking a mortgage and we have a bank rate at some crazy percentage, that's probably not the best time to take a mortgage. And we have to understand this. And 5 years ago, I would not know about this. I would be like, okay, give me a loan, I will buy something. So now I won't do that. I will evaluate. But also, this is probably a lot about connections. I have also met a lot of different people in the blockchain, and they come from all different places. Some of those come from simple chats of different products or different projects, not even XPMarkets. You chat with someone and then you realize that you share similar interests, similar capital, you start to do research together. And in investment, it's also very, very important to have a group of like-minded people, because the market is so huge that you will never ever be able to analyze even a fraction of it. You need a group of like-minded people who think in the same way or in a similar way, who share your qualities, who share your standards and ideas, so that you can find and narrow down similar interests that you might invest together. And I believe that was also very important for me, because I definitely managed to find these kinds of people who we do the research together. And ultimately, my co-founder of us, we have actually made doing crypto stuff. So we have known each other for quite some time, and we knew our weaknesses and strengths. We piled them into a single pod and created XPMarket. And now you can see how connections can help you both in terms of research and investment, but also even building a business.
Yeah.
And that's one of the journeys you can take with the crypto and blockchain.
Man, that was well said. I mean, there's so many fire points that you made in that. Yeah, very, very good. What advice would you give someone who's thinking about entering into the blockchain industry?
I guess it's very difficult to give an advice, a generalized one, because everyone will have different fears, stress levels, etc. But first of all, probably not to be afraid, because the initial step that everyone has to overcome is fear. And this fear is not knowing what to do, not knowing what awaits you, the fear of losing money. And these are all legit fears, and we should not shame people for having them. You have fears, I have fears. As a startup founder, I have probably even more fears than the general population has, like fear of not sleeping at all. But that's fine. There will be time when I'll have to sleep. But people do have to go and step out of their comfort zone, because if you don't step out of it, you won't be able to achieve something new. It's absolutely nice to stay in your cozy corner and enjoy the life, but only when you step out from it, you can achieve greater stuff.
Greatness. Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely. Absolutely. I lied. I have one question.
okay.
Sure.
Okay. All right. And I'll leave you with this. Have you ever heard or read the book Becoming Your Own Banker by R. Nelson Nash?
I don't think I did, no.
Okay. So since you're on your financial journey, I and you have a XRP market, I would recommend that you and maybe your partners read this book. It's only 92 pages, but it is quite literally doing the same thing with finance and money in the in a with a different tool from the old system versus what's in the new. Since I've read this book, lots.
Many times.
It is many times, and Audible, where you can get it on Amazon. You
Mhm.
can listen to it via Audible, but it has allowed me to do the same thing that you're doing when you're recognizing your fears. Mortgage, you brought up mortgage, which is a great thing. Finance, it's allowed me to look at these things from a different point of view, and that point of view is not so much the not the perspective of what I think most of us initially grew up with, and I just need to get a house. I just need a place to live. It goes far beyond that. It's I do need that, but how can I get this and bring it to my advantage financially? And then how can I use that to keep growing in other things, like a garden? How can I plant one tomato seed and then take those tomatoes and maybe go get some more seeds from my neighbor that happens to grow squash? Same thing. You're cultivating. So since you haven't read it, go get it.
I understand this idea as well, because before I used those like mortgage. For me, it was a way how you get money to purchase to buy something, because you
Sure.
simply don't have money to do so right now.
Yeah.
Right.
But when you self-educate yourself, you're
Yep.
actually looking at it as a financial instrument, how you
Absolutely.
can turn it to your advantage. For example, would you like to buy a car now? Yes, why not? Would you like to pay all 100% straight away? Probably you can, but if they offer you 0% loan for this car, probably that's a good idea, because you can take your money to somewhere else and then you will have negative
Yep.
percentage from that car. You actually not really earning, but the car becomes cheaper
Yeah.
because you don't spend your money straight away and you're allowed to work it. But if you were talking about the books, probably one of the books I liked the most and made probably the most impact on myself was Millionaire Next Door,
Oh,
and it
Oh,
explains how you can find a millionaire literally like everywhere, and you will never know that this guy has millions and millions. But you can see other people riding Ferraris and Lambos, and they probably are broke, and they provide a lot of advice how
yep.
different jobs like dull normal work can give you more and more if you just strategize. You have your offense strategy, defense strategy. So this is also something I would recommend to read for our
yep.
viewers and listeners.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm familiar with that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and a few other Robert Kiyosaki. But The Richest Man in Babylon is probably my favorite financial book because it taught me principles that are taught throughout all of those books that you and I have just mentioned. But if you like the Millionaire Next Door,
Check it out.
everything that you just talked about that you hit on, becoming your own banker, R.
You
Nelson
will like it.
Nash, it's a one card ride. Listen,
Yeah,
you could do it.
it's worth a listen.
Definitely worth it. But that's all I got.
I got 3 rapid fire questions for you, and I'm just going to hit you.
Sure.
Boom, boom, boom. First one, favorite blockchain project outside of XPMarket?
Oh, that's a tough one. I have quite a few. Probably right now from the most recent, I would name Ethereum, and I have one very specific reason why. It's because you can stake Ethereum and you can accumulate points and then get Eigenlayer airdrop. And for me, it's Renzo airdrop. So you earn passive income from the APR, and it might not be great, like 3.5%, but airdrops are quite sweet. And another idea which I really liked was from Solana and Solana Phone. I do actually have first one, and I'm still waiting for the second phone to come because I believe
Ooh.
this was absolutely brilliant marketing idea. How you can release your own phone, tell that there's a specific NFT, and this NFT provides airdrops. And all these airdrops make your phone essentially free. So you get a phone for free. And now it kind of resonates with our season pass because you buy a season pass and you get plenty of airdrops. So I like that idea.
That's wild. I haven't even heard of that. See, you're telling me something that I haven't heard. Have you heard of that, Simon? I haven't heard of the Solana phone.
Yes, and so but see, without going too far, what he's doing there is the same strategy that we're kind of overall talking about, right? Where like Ethereum, I can stake, but I get these airdrops, and now I can use these airdrops for this. And so he's essentially taken one time he bought some Ethereum, and then he let that Ethereum allow him to grow different things as opposed just the price go up. And same thing with Solana. That same thing there, and essentially it is free. No extra money came out of his pocket to utilize those things. And this is literally we talk about on the show, the new financial system. You know, it really is. We talk about small economies, personal economies, peer-to-peer economies. This is it. This is how things will be done, or at least those advantages we have right now. Not to say that they'll be there forever. DeFi, same thing. AMMs, liquidity pools. You know, I mean, that's literally just
the network
effect. It is both in the digital and in the personal connections right here. This show right now, you know, us three doing this interview. Now we have another connection. Oh, that was my. Do you have one more? You have more questions? Go ahead.
I got 2 more rapid fires.
Go for it. Go for
all
it.
That I'm mentioning, it's also a lot of hard work because first of all, you take risk to stake Ethereum. You have to understand all the risks and you have to put work into it. And then you have to put work to understand that there's actually this opportunity that also work. And many people often see these airdrops as free money, but it's not free money. It's your reward or your salary for doing all this hard research that you have spent hours and hours.
That's
And
right.
a lot of time, this research actually leads nowhere productive. It accumulates your knowledge, but knowledge without actual application is not so much useful. So sometimes you spend a lot on research, get nothing out of that, but there will always be those some rare gem that you can take out.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
One piece of technology you can't live without.
I would definitely say my phone. So it's not blockchain. But
So
it's my phone.
true. So true.
Because
So very true.
even at XPMarket, I definitely use my phone probably 50% of time when I work on XPMarket. During normal hours, I use my computer, my PC, because I like large screen.
Yeah.
But when I go somewhere, I still take my phone and I do the work. And from my phone, I can do actually a lot of work. And that's also probably another feature of our society, because we can take our digital work from any space. So if your work allows you to do so, that's also absolutely incredible.
This is about as big as I can get. Like I because I'm old and I'm like trying to look, but I freaking love this. I used to have like a little teeny tiny one and I use it just fine. But once I went to the bigger one, I'm like, I can't go back to a small phone, but my hands are tiny. And so it's like cramping my hand. I got to get one of those holders or something. So
Yeah, I
that
also have large phone, and I'm always telling, if there would be phones of the size of TV, I would definitely buy one.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Well, you know, back in the day when I was young, we used to walk down the street with the boombox on your shoulder, you know, big old. I mean, I feel like that's like the phone thing in the future. We're going to be walking down with a big old phone,
big old tablet
strapped to our. We'll just
we won't
have
even
it
need
like
it
on
though.
a
Like
chain.
we
wear
have
like a
Bluetooth.
purse.
We have Bluetooth. We just say hello or just
Exactly.
answer hi. What you
What's
know? That's
up?
hello. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I would be in that same category too. If there was a phone as big as the screen, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna get it.
No big problem.
Cool.
Final quick draw question. What's the prediction for the next big thing in crypto?
Absolutely impossible to predict. I will not even try to answer this, because I could never imagine that meme coins could be a big thing and attract so much attention. And then we had a lot of AI stuff, and I knew about AI, but I could not imagine that AI will be my assistant in daily tasks. And now AI is integrated into the crypto. We have AI agents. And to me, AI agents is like meme coins on steroids, because these are still the same meme coins, but with AI. And blending AI with meme coins and creating kind of AI agent, no chance I would have predicted this. So predictions are very, very complicated, and I'm not even going to try it.
I love it. That sounds like a very scientific approach. No.
More research is required.
Yeah, more research is required. Perfect.
Well, Simon, you have any final thoughts for wrapping this up?
Yeah, I think everybody out there should go back and watch this video again and again. There was a lot of great information, simple explanations on quite arguably challenging topics. And as Artur has very highlighted very eloquently, there is work to be done. It does take work, you know. So go back and watch this video a few more times, because there was a lot of hidden gems in here. And Artur, my man, thank you so much for coming on the Dipito Show. Any way I can convince you to come to Las Vegas here in the States at the end of May?
You don't have to do so, because we are coming.
Yes.
Yeah! Cool.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to connect. We'll have to connect.
You'll have to get into Vegas on Thursday night so you can come to our pre-party.
Wednesday night. At least let them get settled.
Well, if I'm going to Las Vegas because it's over the ocean, trust me, I will take a whole week to do so, maybe even 2.
Amen to that. All right. Cool. I look forward to meeting you. I look forward very much to meeting you and your team. That's great.
We thank you so much for spending time with us. Do you have any final thoughts or messages for the audience? Telling people about like how can they find your website and dip their toe into the products you're building?
So if everyone is looking how to dip their toe into XRP Ledger to begin with, so XPMarket is definitely a great tool to do so. All you have to do is go to xpmarket.com, press Connect Wallet, and that's already where you're going to start. You will have a chance to select the wallet, so you will be already hinted at which wallet selections you can go and take. And from a single platform, you will be able to experience whole XRP Ledger. You will be faced with all the tokens, with AMM pools, season pass. You will have access to NFTs. And this is kind of a starter pack for a newcomer, a new joiner to the ledger. It's also a medium pack for people who have been around for quite some time. And I hope that XRP Ledger won't be their final stop, that people will look into XRP Ledger, see what's here, then go somewhere else to Solana, Ethereum, Binance Chain, explore there, and find what they like, what they don't like, come back to us, tell what they would like to add or what they would like to remove, or even better, please do go and build a competitor so that we have more fun competing each other and developing new products. And don't be afraid to go outside and experiment with the blockchains. Try to take reasonable and measurable risks with your finance to become more independent, because when you have skin in the game, you obviously have much more motivation and interest learning. As I mentioned, you will never learn to the same level from mistakes that other people make. You have to make your own mistakes, otherwise you will not remember it.
Boy, is that a valuable statement right there. 100%. We all need to learn from our own mistakes. I want to thank you, Dr. Artur, for coming on Dip a Toe. We will post your links in the description. This will be, we'll have this on our Wednesday show. So for those of you who didn't know, this is a recorded interview. And we're so thankful that you came. And guys, thanks for everybody that visited Dip a Toe show every week. Wednesdays, 8 p.m. We're on YouTube and Rumble at Dip a Toe. And you can also find us on X at Dip a Toe Show. Thank you very much for coming. We look forward to seeing you next week, Dr. Artur. Thank you very much. And we will talk to you guys next time. Have a good rest of your day. Oh, hey-oh. Huh? Oh, you're on mute, I think. I wonder if you can hear me.
Oh, no, I am. Yep. Sorry. I double muted myself because, you never know. Might hit one button and you're unmuted here, but, anyway.
I almost was gonna just let it play because it did the ending, but I had to come back on because that was the first time I heard it played back, and yeah, wow. Shout out to True Ducal. I think, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but yeah, said he really enjoyed the interview, and he says, he got a new sub here, so I'm like excited about that. Thank you. Yeah, y'all still live. Yeah, we're still live.
Come on, this is a 3-hour show.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be tonight because
There's a pool party. No, I can't. I am all jacked up on Dayquil, Theraflu, anything that could help just the oxygen in my body.
Exactly. But I didn't want to leave without saying goodbye to everybody personally because of the way we started. But yeah, what a fantastic conversation we had with him. He was so kind. And you know what? I have to tell you, Simon, he messaged me afterwards.
Oh, did he? Good.
Yes, and he said, thank you so much for having him. It was super comfortable and fun. He said he felt really comfortable, and I thought that was awesome, because I felt really comfortable with him, because I was so nervous to pronounce his name, and he's super smart, and everything.
Dude, you nailed the name, man. I'd be like,
I practiced it.
There we go. Hey, but be honest though. Be honest. Did you knock one back real quick to loosen up the old lips a little bit, just to let it flow?
I might have. Well, Ryan, right before the show, I had been practicing it for like 2 days before.
Oh, that's right.
I would just be listening. I would like hear it, and I would try to phonetically say it, over and over again. And then about 5 minutes before go time, Ryan's like, well, you got his name. And I said it, and he was like, no, it's this. And I was like, don't say anything, because you're going to throw me off if you start telling me it's pronounced something different than what's already programmed in my brain now. So, yeah.
Thanks, jerk.
Yeah, please don't alter. You should have done that 2 days ago. Tell me I was wrong. So, yeah. Oh, but anyway,
that's so cool. I'm glad he hit you up, because like usually all you crazy kids out there in Dipito land, we usually hang after the show and like have a little convo with our guests, and we did the outro, but usually we stay, in the green room, and then like, he dipped out, which it was cool because that was only supposed to be an hour show. So thank you, Artur. Thank you, Artur, for sticking around with us in the shallow end of the crypto pool on the Dipito show.
Didn't you feel like we could have just kept talking to him for another 5 hours? Okay, it's like talking to Quincy Jones or any.
But that's like, okay. All right. I want to take a poll right now. I know some of y'all be watching probably. Yeah, 280 views. Some of you watching. Okay. How about we try to get Quincy and Artur on the same show?
Oh man, that would be fire.
Just to have them have like a tech talk. A tech talk. Hey, this is tech talk, not TikTok, but tech talk. Hey. Anyways, come on, Trump. What you think, baby?
Yeah, get him and get Will from XRPL in there. I mean, geez, Pete.
Let's just have a panel. Can we do let's do a panel night? Can we do a panel night?
We have to. At some point, we really do.
We should, yeah.
We've had such wonderful people. It's really Cosmic Mama Shay says, I love picking smart brains. Me too. I feel like we've been so blessed with this show, with the folks that we've had on. Because they're bright shining stars that the world they don't know about them yet. They don't know about them yet, but they're gonna know about them right real fast. And we'll be one of the shows that got to talk to them before. Before. And so I don't know. I feel extremely honored.
Can we plug the good doctor with like a lab coat, but it's got XRP on the back, right? But it's got the Dipito. Get you the Dipito show. Lab coat.
That'd be great.
You know what I'm saying?
That would be great. Be cool.
Like, we want to honor you with this, since you made your way across the pond, all out here to the desert.
I mean, how awesome that he's going to come to Las Vegas. So
I know, dude,
we're planning that party. I'm planning it Thursday night prior to the XRP Las Vegas conference. We're going to start giving some details on that, because guys, it's going to fill up fast. It's not a large venue. We almost packed it out last year, and this year we're going to have even more people. And so at some point, I'm going to start having people RSVP like I did last year, so that I can start making the badges and stuff way ahead of time. Because I was grinding them out 24 hours before I'm hopping on a plane.
Man, you were printing those things like they were scalp tickets, man.
I'm telling you what, but they turned out super cool.
They were dope.
They were a nice little keepsake for the folks.
I still have mine. I'm like, here, check me out.
Ah,
Yeah. Oh yeah. You
yeah.
don't know who I am? Here you go. Boop boop. Boop boop.
Tristo says, yeah, we have some interesting people on the show. We
Absolutely.
do.
Oh,
One
what's
of these
good,
days,
T?
Tristo, you'll have to come and hang with us on the show. We'd love it.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Me,
Adrian. Oh, sorry.
me and T have good conversations after we hang out with Mr. Man on his town hall when we both show up. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
me, him, and Payme and XLM. We'll hang
Yeah.
out and we'll talk for like another 2-3 hours.
Nice.
On Friday night.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, well, we definitely would. What is Adrian says, I miss Patrick O'Reilly, cool guy, precious memories. 1 alien, 600 IQ, and 30 cats listening. 30 cats, Adrian. Holy smokes, man. That's a lot of kitty cats there. Huh?
Nope. No, you're not gonna bait me into that one. Nice try.
I'm allergic to cats. I'm allergic to cats, but I would love to have one. Yeah, meow, meow. But I can't breathe. Yeah, Lisa A says, love listening to Patrick. We'll have to have him back on. Listen, guys, if you go back through our videos on Dip a Toe Show, we're a little over a year old. But we have had some stellar conversations. Well, just an infant. We're just a baby. But we've had some of the brightest minds in the crypto space, in the digital asset space, people that are building things, the people that are working behind the scenes that unless you're dipping a toe or you're hanging out in spaces or you're really active on X, you might not even know that these people exist. But that's the coolest thing about this show is that, we're the little guys talking and helping the little guys, right? And
are they really little guys though?
They're not. They're big.
Like they're really
sleepers.
not. Like they're sleepers, right? I mean, these are the sleeping giants, like real deal. I was just thinking the other day about the show and how blessed we've had to be in contact with so many people. Like 98% of the credit goes to you, Melissa. Let's not be coy. We know you are the gem finder. You are the gem finder. I'm just the clown that does the juggling and hand signals.
You do it well.
That's not entirely true. I bring a small bit of value when it comes to strategy.
So, little type bit of value.
It's a tiny bit.
Different value.
But what I was thinking about this the other day, and you just reminded me of it now, and that is this. Isn't it been cool to have these people on the show, but then watch everybody that's been part of our audience for a year or less, right? And how they've grown too in their knowledge base. It's like, whoa, some of you are really catching on. Some of y'all might not have a day job. This is good for you. I'm so happy because you're gonna have to.
I love it, man. Soon. I'm jealous.
When the student becomes the teacher, and I'm seeing a lot of that in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of that in the space. It's been amazing to sit back and go, well, I'll be. It done catched on.
Yeah. I mean, my goals is, really we want everybody to feel super comfortable with the Dip a Toe show and come on the show. We would love for you to come on the show if you're shy, you don't want to have your camera on or whatever. But all of you that are watching this show right now that are dipping your toe, just know, like, you are so early. You're at the beginning. I commend you for taking your time, your effort, your energy, because we all know how much energy and effort this takes, and you're persevering through it. You just keep on pushing, and you're doing it, and we're supporting each other. And so whenever you're ready and you want to reach out, maybe we're going to do another ladies night. And because people really liked that. And I just got thinking you were talking about Trisso. I'm like, maybe you'll have a man's night on the Dip a Toe channel sometime. Why not? I'm just saying, I mean, we can change things up now.
Real quick.
Well, we can change things up, but I'm just saying that this channel is for all of you, for all of us. And, you know, if you have ideas and things that you'd like us to cover, or you know someone that you think would be great to come on the show, reach out to us, let us know. You know, you can reach out to me on X at WorldBeFree888. You can reach out to Simon at Simon Says _crypto on X, or you can email the dipatoshow@gmail.com. Yeah, or put a comment underneath, which, by the way, we're getting there, closer to 500 followers. We're really trying hard to get 500 followers on YouTube. I know it sounds a little bit like, oh, please, but please follow our channel. Please share it out. Help us reach that goal. It'd be so cool. We're really trying. I guess once you get 500, you start getting into a little bit different algorithm and you get more eyes. Because I'm convinced, guys, that it's just people don't know about our show yet. So, you know, once we get out there, there'll be even more of us in here. And those of you that are watching, we got 335 watching through across all the different platforms. You guys are on the ground floor of our show growing, and like our knowledge growing and our network that's growing. And so I really thank you.
The network effect is growing.
It's incredible, man.
Growing. It is incredible. Okay.
Oh, Adrian says, Melissa, Simon, you're both great people, very important part of this entire journey, connecting all various great people. I am grateful for you two and Staple Crew guys. So much to hear. And yeah, we love you. We love you for coming.
Adrian!
And, you know, huh? Yeah, Adrian.
Adrian.
Not quite sure what's on tap for next week. We have so many things. We are, for those of you that know, like I'm part of the Protectors of the Frequency and the IMU TV. Want to remind you guys that the Dipato show is currently has our little advertisement on the IMU TV. They're streaming it, I think 6 or 7 times a day to 20 countries. Melissa dated yourself, Crush Groove. I don't know what that means. What did I say? I don't know. I'm old, Bacon Bits.
Did you?
I don't know what I did. But I
reach out, or maybe you said reach out, because I was about to go right to that song too.
No, but what I'm saying is we're on the IMU TV, which is a huge honor. Part of the Protectors. If you guys haven't gotten your protector yet, go on X and look up IM Protectors. Niall Cottrell and Rob Nichols of IMU TV. Both those guys, they've got an incredible project for independent music artists, but it's also expanding to independent artists of all kinds, including content like ours. And it's very cool. We have a lot of protectors that support this channel too. But yeah, and pretty soon we will be streaming there. They're working out all those details. And then in February, they're adding Apple TV to their options. So right now they're on Amazon, Fire, and Roku, and one other, and I can't remember what the other one is, but then they're adding the Apple TV in February. And so they're going to come on the Dipato show and bring us up to speed either the first or the second Wednesday in February. So I know that we have that booked out, but there's so many other people and things to cover. It's just a matter of like, sometimes it's only once a week show. I don't know how people do this every day.
Here's my thought on next week, my man, my lady, my friend, my lady friend, my man-made friend. I know. That's what happens when you get sick. You got to take all the drugs.
Yeah.
So you can at least halfway feel good.
Seriously.
Next week, I think we should maybe leave it open a little bit. I mean, we had the first week of office. We're almost kind of closing in. I think we should have I think some good news-ish might be coming out early next week.
A little free for all next week, huh?
Yeah, maybe. Just, I mean, I don't know. If nothing happens by the end of Friday, forget about it. But I think there might be some good headway on a few good things. I've seen too many. Okay, I say too many. I've seen more than a handful of legitimate tweets about legislation in crypto.
Yeah.
So I mean that right there, and I know we could go both ends, same way, opposite directions.
Seriously.
I think, and and everybody else in the chat, they're going to be with that. I'm just saying, maybe we should just leave it open.
Leave it open. Maybe Miss Kita would come on.
Where's she been? I've heard of birthday week, but this is like birthday forever.
No, she was in the chat. She was in the chat last week.
I missed her. Love you, Keita.
Yeah, I know. So we'll try to get her, see if she's available to come in and chat with us, and maybe Amanda, or we'll just have it open. We'll talk about it. We'll see. We had Landon, there's maybe Trisso. I don't know. We're just gonna be talking some stuff next week. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely no F-bombs. Yeah, that's the one thing is that we said a little bit of bad language on this show here and there. We have I've said a few bad languages. I've said a few, but I'm gonna.
You got grandkids. You don't do that stuff. Come on.
Because we're like interviewing legit people. You can't be saying, we had Brad Kimes on, although Brad Kimes has a little bit of a potty mouth now and again. If you're in his private thing, he might.
Everybody has their private deal, but we at least attempt to pretend that we are in a very formal setting, as far as like a crypto presidential ball or something like that. It's like, hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. What's that? What do you got? I was wondering.
Yeah, what is that?
What's an invite?
I'm not
even like to listen. One of CEOs of
Delcium project about AI agents.
Yeah. Okay, so actually that's great. That's actually a goody thing right there, because the AI agents are the wave. And after what just happened earlier this week, I think it was yesterday. What was yesterday? Tuesday. So it really hasn't been running through the week yet. So there's been a huge push for AI. Major push. We got infrastructure bill for AI. Yeah. So AI agents. I mean, what you got? You got something? Did you make
Keep going. I was going to share.
You're getting all happy over there, but it means you made something. You did something cool.
It's kind of, if I can find it, there, and I want to get his name and everything, because he did a bunch of these little things for the protectors, having us dancing, and I saw that. And then I know it's so awesome.
Let me see if I have it.
It's all AI. And then I recently joined a group that is following AI technology, and that are, creating and testing different things. And, who knows, if we rub elbows with some of them, maybe we can get some of them to come on the show, because that would be fascinating. Well, anybody that can figure out how to use this technology for good and for fun. I think it's really cool. Like, I'd love to.
Yeah, AI is a very, very interesting topic. I think we should totally address that, because I've dipped my toe into AI. Some of us use Grok.
I love it personally.
OpenAI or ChatGPT. And I know there's a plethora of others that I know Melissa has messed with. I've totally messed with. And I think it would be a really good overall topic. So, Adrian, thank you so much, because it's not just AI agents in crypto, right? Because the AI agent is like, think of it as an actual digital representation of a personal assistant, right? It will make decisions based on responses. When you get the stupid help chat bot, hi, I'm so-and-so. How can I help you today? When you're like freaking out about some crypto issue, you're like, I want a real person.
I want a person now.
At some level, there's an AI agent that's doing that. It makes decisions based on you. It's not like you just give it parameters. It has the ability to think for itself. That's kind of some of the things that I've found that I've found very interesting. So I would love to actually really go down that road, and we should. We just had an infrastructure bill, $100 billion all the way up to $500 billion into AI in this United States of America at data centers all across. Like, dude, they're doing this. It's now. We do need to know.
Yes. We'll have to do the entire screen.
So I'll go on the dark web later, see what I can dig up.
I am going to share this.
Hopefully, share it.
Hopefully this hopefully you can.
It'll play.
Well, yeah, I gotta make sure.
Are you the one in the swimsuit? No, you're the one in the
I'm in the red. I'm the.
Yeah. Is that Stone in the back?
Yeah. I think it's Stone and Tiara and me, and I don't know who the other two are.
Now, I didn't actually hit the volume button. Is there like a Irish jig that's playing?
Yeah, and then there's one more. I think it's so funny. And then I said, I really want one by myself. And holy smokes, this is what he came up with.
All right. No, we can't hear the sound.
Oh, you can't?
No. But I can see you dancing like that at the karaoke bar.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. But here, like, okay, so somebody created this.
Yeah.
Probably on the majority of free applications that are already out there.
Yeah.
So if it's free and it's out there now for us to use, how long has it already been in play?
Correct. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
That's right. So we have to take that into perspective. And it is time to learn. If we don't learn, we're going to get burned.
Yes.
100%. It's not because we're wanting to know and we're fascinated with everything out there. It's because, well, I have to know what's kind of coming at me to some degree.
The WEF had a chat about
the WEF had chatted about. Yeah, I had heard some stuff like that. It's now a position thing. See, strategic reserve into crypto. What you got? You yawning?
Well, I was gonna say crypto bacon bits. He is like super creative. He or she, because I'm assuming that you're a male, crypto bacon bits, but you might be a woman for all I know. All I know is that some of the stuff that you post is like fire. And I wonder if you are experienced with any of this stuff because it's super cool.
The AI one? What if
Nile and I think Empress.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
No sound.
No sound.
What? Oh, probably on the.
She's listening on delay. That's why. Yeah.
Canadian
I don't.
broadband.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know why it. Stop screen. I don't know why it wasn't doing sound for my share. It did on the one tab. It didn't on the other tab. But sorry about that, guys. In any event, super cool. AI. Yeah, he's one that is in the spaces in the morning. The Helvetics, I think, is he's a creator on Helvetics, and Stephanie Island Ghost that's been on our show before. She kind of did some work with them also, and so that's kind of how I know who they are.
Are there any spaces?
They're going to be on our show too at some point.
6 a.m. East Coast.
Is there what?
Any spaces that start at 6 a.m. East Coast?
You know who would know is Stone. Stone does
starts at 9 a.m.
He does start at 9 a.m., but he goes into a space before that because he gets up real early. And I've heard him in like early rising, early bird one. And then there's it's Floxon and some other couple other guys do some really good spaces 3 times a day. One is in earlier in the day, midday, and then late at night. And I like that one. There's a guy named Buva who sounds to me, Buva, if you guys, I don't know if you guys may or may not know who I'm talking about, but this guy named Buva, he reminds me of Klaus, the fish on Family Guy. The way he talks, they're so funny. Like they have a really good rapport with one another, and so yeah, I enjoy listening to them, and they're smart too, but they like to like razz each other and whatnot. You, Stone, Tiara, Nile, and Empress. Oh, that's who the dancers were.
The dancing Irish jig.
Yeah. I think it's because I shared it from not a what you call it, XRP to Fort Locksville. Let's hope so, my friend. Huh? 420 soon.
Locksville, where do you live? Because if that number hits, then we can hang together.
You know what I always say I say it's 420, and I always say 420, take the day off when it's on April 20th. And I always tell Ryan I'm going to take a vacation day, and I never do, but I should take it just for the hell of it. I don't even smoke weed anymore, but
you don't need to. You just take an edible.
I just want to take a day off for 420.
Do it.
I'm a dork.
It's actually one of my nephew's birthday.
Oh, really? Good for him.
I know. I know. Like there's a few of us that are like counting down the years. Like, come on, man, come on. We gotta celebrate. Do it right. Anyways, that's cool stuff. But
yeah. Oh, sorry. The evening one is called Trench Warfare. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, at Based Labs.
Twitter drops notifications. Don't be surprised this week. SEC drops the case and the green light. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
we got a lot of stuff to talk about next week.
What is it? Sure. What is the price, real quick? We'll just check it out real quick.
What is it, City price?
Whoa, it's 315 and a 7th. What's the matter, Rocky? Do you need to go outside?
What would it be if I got I don't know. The only way I'm selling any XRP at low prices is if it gets up enough to maybe cover my Las Vegas ticket. Because guys, what I was thinking about doing is I got my own bags and stuff that I don't want to sell for a really long time. But I started thinking there's all these opportunities with not just XRP, but there's a lot of other projects that we've given attention to. And it's like, what if I did take a little bit of a gamble? Not financial advice, people. I'm just talking about myself. But what if I did take my $100 or $200 date night money for when it didn't go 1 week on a date and spent $200 and put that into something and hope it goes up like triples or quadruples, then I got my ticket. Then it only cost me for $200. So I'm starting to think in that way. You know
what I'm going to tell you?
What? Huh?
Run it through your policy first.
Well, I don't have my policy yet. When I do, if I get a policy, then I would do exactly what you're talking about.
I mean,
but for now, I'm like,
you know what? Practice in cash. Practice that play in cash. Okay, if you're gonna do that play, okay, let's say you say, okay, cool, I'm good with liquidating $200 worth of XRP right now to put into another thing, some other venture. Okay, at that moment, I would write up on a piece of paper a loan. So that means that now when that goes, I owe my XRP back plus 10%. Notice I said I owe XRP, not dollars. What's up?
Not dollars.
Yeah, H bar. Do H bar. Do H bar. Not financial advice, but I'd be doing that one too.
Not financial advice, but these things just are appearing on the screen, guys. I don't know.
I
don't even know who this Rosemary lady is.
I
would
say I'll give you anything that I tell my clients right here, right now. Anything that was made in America, probably a pretty good idea for for a number of different reasons. At least right now, for the next 4 years, not a bad play. And I'm not saying don't do anything outside the U.S. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, hey, if you were looking at getting into something, kind of you got the crypto itch, and you're like, man, I want to get into something different. I want something new to play with. I would definitely go that route. Even I mean, dude, what is it? It's Base. Base is made in America. Coinbase. Aerodrome. Gotta look that one up. I don't remember if it is
sure about that one.
But it's, I mean, it's right there. I mean, there's, oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, I need millions of dollars so I can invest millions of dollars into all these different cool and exciting things.
Don't we all? Yeah, I'm definitely. I've been dipping my toe. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot to talk about next week. And the other thing I want to do is, you and I have been talking to Quincy here and there. We know Quincy's working on something big,
huge,
and I want to get him back on the show because when it's time, he will come on.
I know. He can talk. We're not smart enough to help him out with the request that he put out there, man.
Well, yes, we are. No, yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. What do you mean? Yes, we are. He said high IQ.
What you trying to say? We ain't high IQ, huh? I'll go high IQ.
Okay, I'm there.
No, he needs all kind of IQ, but high IQ, basically doers. Like you're perfect to do that. And
because I was gonna reach out and be like, bro, let me see your thing.
Reach out, please. Yeah, no, I think he already put you on the list. I'm dying to do my policy.
Dude, I gotta just call this. Man, he's so busy.
We're gonna mess with. We're gonna talk with him. Yes,
Quincy.
We'll get him.
I want to test you. I want to test. I can't say anything else.
Yes,
I'm just gonna assume I'm on an NDA. I'm under NDA right now.
Let's just say this. There's going to be something really super cool for people that like XDC, and real cool.
Me. Sorry.
And we're gonna reach out, and as soon as he gives it go time, so whatever when he's got the go time, he's on. We're doing it. So
I know we're gonna have to get him on sometime before March because as soon as it's March, it's crypto convention open season.
Exactly. We need to get him. So that's priority. Okay. So anyway, I just want to get you guys excited about that.
No, that's good. I'm so glad you dropped that because I was gonna ask you about that after the show. Like, hey, can we talk about this? You got the skinny on the slowdown. Like, how much can we just talk about to the dipitors and be like, you might want to watch Quincy just for a little bit because something cool is happening there.
Yes.
I can't even tell you. I'm so sorry, but I'm excited when I put two together. Melissa was telling me some stuff, and then I saw some posts, and then I was like, "Oh, Melissa, this is it." And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." I kind of know where it's at. So,
and I will tell you guys, for any of you that are following or buying XDC, follow Quincy Jones on X, and he does have an XDC community that you can join there on X, a little private group. It's like a group that you can join. You just got to say, yes, I'll follow the rules, which is pretty much don't be an asshole type thing. Oh, bad language. It's getting late.
No. That is a noun. Describes a person, place, or thing. You're fine.
It's a thing on a person. Yeah, I'm good. You're right. I won't get dinged for that.
It's not on this one.
Not in this one. We have 400 people still listening. You guys, thank
Love
you so
all.
much.
Love you all.
We love you. Please like, share, and subscribe at Dip a Toe. It would be super cool by the end of this month if we could get up to 500 subscribers on YouTube.
That's only one
Please.
more show.
Huh? Do
It's
it.
only one more show.
It's only, I know, we got one more show to do it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how we do it. We just keep on plugging away, but
we just keep on moving, man. That's what we do here on the Dip a Toe. Oh, did I tell you that news?
What's the news?
They're bringing me back to the day job.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Huh?
Day shift, baby.
Someone's going J-O-B. Tiara, we love
it's good things.
There she is. You're awesome.
Much love, everyone.
We're gonna have a ladies' night and have you back on again.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we can get Susan
Roblin
to come on too with a ladies' night.
I really enjoy the ladies' night. Like I seriously, I like the ladies' perspective. You know, Lindy P. Jones. You know, Molly. Of course, Kita. Oh my gosh, Molly.
Miranda?
Maya, love Maya. Brooke, dude, Brooke. We got Brooke on. Like, just a one night with Brooke.
Just talking about money.
Yes, right. yes. No, for realsies. Like she's, everybody knows in the Dip a Toe family that when Brooke starts talking, it's like, dude, she's sitting on a pot of gold, and you all know it, and she can deliver it in such a way that really is a rarity. Like I haven't really come across a lot of people that can take the complexity of the Wall Street, the finance, and really just break it down at a Main Street level, but it's very digestible and it resonates with most people. And that the resonation, it really just speaks to her as a person, to who she is, right? Just how cool she is. So,
well, you know, she comes across very sweet, and what I really like about her delivery is she's educating.
Yes.
With about the seriousness, but without the negativity.
Right.
And that's key right there, because most people that present that type of information, it does suck. So we're all kind of pissed and it's kind of doom and gloom. She doesn't come at it like that. I don't know. There is definitely something special. Maybe I'll dip an online toe with you all one day. Yeah. Come on, Shay. You could dip an online toe with us. You could just put your picture. You don't even have to show it. But I have to say, it is better when people just come on camera. But you know, I mean, Tiara did it. She did fantastic. And people loved it. You're right. That is one of our most watched shows, is when we just had, you know, the ladies on. So, is it just me, or is Simon in the same position he's been for the last like 20 seconds? I think he froze. Yep, he did. Well, guys, we love you. We thank you so much for coming. Now we are definitely at a 3-hour show, and we appreciate you, and we will see you next time. Same time, same bat channel. Have a good rest.